everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the weekend morning. Welcome back to Hardcore. My Warlock, at least this Warlock, I am pleased to say is not dead. Although, I must also disclose, I haven't played her since, so she's, well, I guess I played her a little bit since the last time I streamed her. She got into 37, so she's wearing some new items. We have our Jaina's Fire Starter that I was carrying around for a couple of levels finally equipped, which is good stuff. Makes a different sound than my new wand. So that's fun. Or my old wand, rather. And I was just kind of like looking at my map and looking at my quests and looking at the death log and trying to sort out where I want to go and what I want to do. Because I do have some rested. I have, how much rested does it say? 47,000. Not cap, mind you. I think my hunter actually has cap, but a decent chunk of rested. Leveling at this level, though, seems exceedingly slow, and it's not a guarantee that even if I went and I just started going straight up, that I would get 38 within one stream. I can maybe get like half of it, especially if I'm just grinding and not questing. I have been to Desolus. I've done a couple of quests there, and I'm pretty much okay with it. I think that I'm okay to not do further Desolus at this time. It was fine, but it's very far. And on the Eastern Kingdoms, you have your options of Arathi Highlands or Stranglethorn Vale. Something that was causing me pause in my quest log was that I haven't done like a lot of Warlock quests, and they all seem to be centered in the Barrens. Apparently that's Demon Central. And I've just never been. So I could go do that just for fun, you know, just to go learn how to train a succubus. I'm not likely to use it much, but you could have it. And if I wanted to get to Ratchet, and just the Barrens in general, one, I could go to Ashenvale. I could fly to Astranar after taking a boat to Aberdeen, and then run down very carefully, because guards. Or, if I could get to Booty Bay, which I also have a quest turn-in. I have a Stranglethorn quest turn-in in Booty Bay for the Krazik's cookery. If I could get there, then I could take the boat. And I've been here, but this is a level 30 to 45 zone, and I don't really know how safe the road is if you're going to Booty Bay. I was trying to answer that question for myself by looking around in the death log, and best I can come up with is it's like, I don't know, it's okay. Hang on a second, let me check something. Oh no, that's fine. It's not like the wetlands run, but I don't know if I feel, you know, super, super happy about it. So if I decide to just like give up on questing and just find a place to grind and drink my coffee, which I think is the smart thing to do, I can do that in Northern Stranglethorn. I want to grind mobs that I can skin, so I could skin any number of beasts in Northern Stranglethorn. There's quests that are only like level 33 for this area, but this area is really deadly even to people at and above my level, is what I was finding when I was poking around in Deathlog, so I think we're still not doing that. And then we did like the first handful of quests on the from the Nessingwari camp, but we're getting to a point where I'm not so sure. So up in Arathi Highlands, which is where I'm closer to, that's what the Ironforge Hearth would point me towards. There's some stuff. It would just, I would probably just go set up and grind raptors. I do need a Shadow Hunter knife, and I don't think that's a good idea. Here, let me look in Deathlog and see if we're looking at zone stats and we're looking at Arathi. That's Hillsbrad, pardon me. Witherbark Headhunters are the dangerous mob that's in that cave. I don't know if Shadow Hunters are the ones that I need the item from, but the Headhunters are going to be around there. If I look up that specific creature for a Headhunter, we can see that they kill warlocks on average at level 35.3. They're killing people in kind of the 33 to 35 range, with warlocks dying at a higher level. I'm only 37. If I was 38, I would say maybe, But some of these people could have even been in groups. That's pretty dangerous too. I didn't make it this far just to just to keel over to a troll. Or maybe I did. There's one way to find out. I think what I'm going to do is put myself on a flight path to Arathi. Start killing some lovely, delicious raptors. And just, like, worry about whether that's the right choice. Never. Anzu dropped. Congratulations. Desolate is also dreary. You get to see the eclipse. Good afternoon. Hello, Hazel and Shad. Hello. Happy Saturday. You have not missed today's prediction. I haven't launched it yet. I will chuck it up as soon as I am on a flight path here. I'm at kind of an awkward level range with Helgrave where his Torment, his single target taunt, he learned that at level 30, and that's now 7 levels out of date, and my damage has been slowly climbing as I've been equipping new things and getting more levels. So it's harder for him to hold aggro on me now, or aggro from me. It's still doable on one target, but on 2 targets it kind of falls apart. Luckily, I have tons of stam. I have still somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 health. I haven't even food buffed yet. So I can tank things for a bit if I need to. Ideally, if I'm already wanding. But I think things will feel better at 40. Although 40 could be years away. It seems so far. Elrithir, thank you for the 51-month resub. Hi, Hazel. Got my druid to 1800 PvP ready today. Congratulations. Now I have my first ever elite set. Means I'm free to sit here and give you advice for hardcore. Very helpful, won't get you killed. I am ready for it. Hellgrave just needs a bit more encouragement. Get him. Get him. It's like the herding. I was watching the herding dog show again, and that's what they say to the dog whenever a cow's getting away. They're like, we've got to go get that cow. You go bring that cow back here. And the dog's like, okay. Woof woof. Watching your VOD where... Oh, yeah, prediction. Sorry. One moment. Getting away from myself. Start a prediction. Is today the day that Hazel the Gnome Lock dies? Only time will tell, but you're welcome to guess. You talked about wanting to paint, not wanting to use canvases, so just a sketchbook and coloring books to paint in. That's what I do, and I'm not doing digital. Oh, it's not a bad idea. I remember one time in my life where I was getting either canvases or a sketchbook for that purpose from like the dollar store. And then I also got the paints from the dollar store. I would buy like those dollar store acrylic paints because, well, I was 15 and I had no money. And I remember that was fun, I think. I don't remember what I think I made a mess. I must have made a mess. Today I learned that druid trains are kind of OP. Accidentally triple pull. Ended up at 14.8k in the damage meters. Holy moly. Is this your typical hardcore classic risk assessment before every play session? Yes, quite. We must calculate the investment portfolio. Voidmuse, thank you for the 8-month resub. And Catvis with a 26-month resub. Thanks, guys. I have such a warm, full, slightly round cup of coffee. I feel like I'm cradling some, like, nectar from the afterlife. I was thinking about Trial of Valor. I don't know why. Dollar store art supplies aren't half bad, especially for the price. I think you're right. The goal with that, and I'm not saying I'm doing anything because let's face it, I have enough hobbies. I have enough fun in a day. I need no further sources of fun in a day. I have no lack of enjoyable things. All I do is have fun and occasionally vacuum, which is also pretty fun. I don't need another one. But if I were to do that, the point would not be to create like Instagram content or products to sell or gifts or anything. The point would be to go, oh, squishy, squishy, mess around with the paint and enjoy it for its own sake. So I'm sure you can do that just as well with cheap stuff, especially when you don't know any better. If you've never painted with expensive paints, then perhaps, squirt bottles would be just fine. Hi, Hazel. Hope you're doing well today. Hi, my pretty posh lady. Thank you very much. I am doing pretty good. I tried to sneak out of bed this morning because I wanted to do a spot of editing that I did not do last night before stream. So I got up a little earlier and crawled into some warm clothes and made it my way to my desk. And I turned on my kitchen light so that I could get some water from the kitchen. And my dog sleeps on the couch out front near the kitchen. And I turn on the light, and he, like, kind of lifts his head up, and he looks at me like, It's still nighttime. What do you want? Like, you'd expect a puppy to maybe be like, oh, hey, hi, what's going on? What are we doing? Nope. Tired. Bedtime. Check in later. Tail wags and happy moosey hugs are for morning. They are not for before morning, which is very funny because that's exactly what I'm like. He gets it from me. My bud. My big bud. He's a really good huggable dog. So let's see here. I need Hellgrave, first of all. Second point of business is going to be to get some more soul shards so that I can get myself backups. Am I good with all this? What am I clicking on? I guess I'm checking to see if you have anything cool. You have a recipe for roast raptor. We have game sound. We have some game sound. Let's go. Let me see. Do I want to do a lap around the raptor cave or the ogre cave, or do I want to head over for the other one? I think that ogre cave that I panic left out of yesterday is not necessarily a bad place to be, although I can't skin them. I would. Ethics or something. Roast raptor sounds delicious. Moose is the best. My cat just jumped on my lap and sneezed on me. I need an adult. Meowdy. Meowdy critties. Woodwalkers look so cool and classic. Hazel, I am back from the hospital without a brain tumor. My new brain upgrade was removed completely. I feel so normal again. Bummer. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. No caves. Bonk. I'm so bored. Oh, but caves are a wonderful place to grind and level. You just need to be... What if we don't do any caves for the first, like, 10 minutes? Because it's true that I haven't played this character in a little while, and I may very well have forgotten what's going on. Also, in a fun Hazel Warlock development, I'm too cheap to use consumables now. I'll use food, mind you, but my days of buying flights of elixirs are over. I am cheap. I figure if I can survive without them, then that's gold I get to keep. I have 38 gold, and I'm saving it up for nothing. Because I'm not going to need it for my level 40 mount, and I'm not planning on getting a level 60 mount. If I get to level 60, that's the headline. That's the end of the story. So, with that in mind. Nope, wasn't going anywhere else, but that was the end of the words. Blasphemer, thank you for the 52-month resub. Good morning. Good morning. What's your imp's name? Maybe you should summon your imp to help him train his tanking skills. My imp is Nalkin, which you could, if you were looking for a snappy nickname, you could call him Napkin. And I haven't been training up his... I've ceased purchasing grimoires for him. Once again, because cheap. You know, why spend gold when you can have gold and be rich? Fills me with confidence about my blue prediction. Yeah, we've been here before. These are probably the lowest level. I'm 37 and these are 31 raptors. This is a very gentle warm up. Although it's not like they're falling over immediately. It's not like they're falling over at once. Here, let's reset our session data so we can get a travel time free estimate of how long grinding will take us to level. This time to level button, I got really excited last time I was playing when I first installed Titan Panel because I got carried away and I misunderstood, and I thought they meant the time it would take me to level through the whole level start to finish, regardless of my progress in it. I don't know why I thought that. I guess I just make stuff up sometimes. But it turns out that what it means is it's predicting, based on, you know, your current XP per hour and how much XP is left, how much time it will take you to hit your next level. And I was thinking, man, it's only saying 3 hours and I'm like 2/3 of my way through this level. More. I'm going to be 37 in like 45 minutes. And it turns out, no, I was going to be 37 in about 3 hours. Because not all statistics work out in your favor. I need 4 more, plus 2 keys. Spent gold on the auction house and gear. Armor jump from classic to TBC is wild. Yeah. They used to do such insane... I mean, they still do, but they used to do such absolutely bonkers item level jumps between expansions. I remember... I guess I remember that. It's the end of the words. Leveling a lot of alts back when you had to level them through each expansion and having their gear be immediately useless. And then you'd get like some random quest in green and you would feel like life was worth it again. What was the item level in Legion? Over 400? I don't remember. People in chat might. I do know that I was looking at some old video of mine, and in the description I said something about being item level 900 and something, and I don't remember the context or what I was looking at or why or for what, and maybe I just had like a dream, because that happens sometimes. You know, your brain just like scrambles information like it's making a smoothie and it just spits stuff out at you and then you think it's real. It could have been a dream, but it's been high before. When did they start the Chromie time not linear leveling system? Also a good question. I want to say Shadowlands, but I do not know for certain. Shadowlands pre-patch. Are you playing hardcore explicitly solo? Yeah, pretty much. I bend my rules whenever like if I'm waiting for a quest mob to spawn and someone else like is also waiting for that mob and they invite me, I'll group up for that because I don't want to be a jerk. And I have leveled with my friend for a few levels before, back in like the 20s in wetlands, but largely I'm not doing any dungeons. I'm not joining any farming groups. It is myself and my Voidwalker, or my Bear Salmon on my Hunter, or, you know, my Angst and Insecurities on my Rogue. And yeah, I think it makes me feel even more confident about enjoying hardcore over a long period of time. Because, what is it? Oh, it's silver! That's for me. I think hardcore has the potential to be viable and fun for like a really long time for me, because even if I put it down, I can pick it back up even if everyone else has moved on and you guys are all zip-zorping around in your hoverboards and your outer space lasers. I can still play this because I'm playing it functionally alone. I would struggle more because without an active auction house, it would be tougher to make gold and it would be tougher to get gear. Although I'm not super concerned about that. It seems like it's got a little bit of staying power. But generally speaking, most of my enjoyment that I'm getting out of this can be had completely on my own. Which is maybe a little counter to, like, the ethos of MMOs. But I'm not complaining. It's handy. My Westfall chicken, yeah. They never went to 1K, certainly 900s. Does renown matter in Dragonflight? Not really. It's useful for cosmetics. It's useful for professions. There'll be like some recipes, some profession knowledge drops you can get at renowns, but you don't really need to worry about it if you're not collecting or making profession gold. Love playing hardcore solo. Leveling is so lovely. What level has Dame again? How is Dame again? I should ask. Is Dame again? I think Dame again is, because I think I saw you. I did the creepy thing where I added your character to my friends list so I could see you log on, and I saw you earlier in the stream. So I'm thinking you're good, but like, how are you? How's it going? Cosmetics matter. Do you take that same tack? And I'm not. This is gonna sound accusatory, and it's not. I'm curious if that mindset for you also applies to the real world in terms of like fashion or like cosmetic products, because I know some people that think that like spending more money on a piece of clothing that is just as functional but like maybe looks different is silly, or like, you know, makeup or hair products, whatnot. I am curious where you land on that spectrum in real life in terms of whether or not it's worth, like, would you spend more money on something that you thought was more cosmetically appealing in your real life, or is this more like a game thing? And there's no wrong answers, and this isn't a moral thing. I should back that up. I want to go poke around at the higher level raptors. Since hardcore is a variant to the main game, I think that's what makes it interesting. Yeah. I wish the rep tab would be account wide. Yeah, mine's a mess too. Good news and bad news. You have to endure a Makura tournament on this character in 10 days, but you get 100k if you win. Oh, man. 100,000 US dollars. Is that what it is? They're giving away dollars and not gold. Oh, man. Can't believe the prize pool for that. What do you mean cosmetics IRL? Yeah, like clothes, makeup, hair, nails. What else would be considered cosmetic? I guess for some people it's also things like maybe vehicle cosmetics. Somebody gets their car painted, their furniture reupholstered, all kinds of things that are more for the aesthetics than for the function of them. No chance. Number go up in game. Ironic to hear this mostly solo variation is what's most popular now. Would spend more money on something that lasts longer, usually look nicer too. They are giving away dollars. I do like dollars, but I don't think that my chances of earning them are very good in that format. I think if I want to earn dollars, I should work more at the job I have or acquire another one. Campaign log is daily stuff. Yeah. It moves. Which is fun and quirky and definitely not confusing. With WoW PvP tourneys, not using money wouldn't surprise me. The day comes up, it turns out they've just got gold on Defies Pillager or whatever. Botox, permanent eyeliner, etc. Yeah, that's another example of people spending money on cosmetics. Those ones I'm less inclined towards. I very much see the satisfaction in spending money on clothes that you feel good in, on I think makeup's quite fun. I don't think I spend on it the same way that I did in my earlier 20s, but I still get a little kick at like a new lipstick or something. But the more permanent ones and the more procedure-based ones are just not my cup of tea, because I know that I like change. I guess that, you know what's funny? This argument is completely blown to smithereens by the fact that I have and enjoy my tattoos. I guess I have tattoos. Those are an extremely permanent thing that I have committed to with no real angst about it. I don't think I can make I think my argument that I was about to make is completely null and void. But yeah, I'm not much of an injectables person. And by that I mean I don't think I would do that unless I change my mind dramatically. I would love to live in a world where we're all just allowed to get old. And we are. And I'm choosing to avail myself of that option, I think. You win 100k Turkish lira. Hair color, yeah. Yeah, that's another good example. No interest, desire to spend money on cosmetics in game. I like the visuals of my character to reflect an achievement, not a purchase. That is fair. That is reasonable. I think in game, whenever I'm spending money on the thing, I think I'm the same way in that I don't really value the ones that I purchased in the same way that I value the ones that I earned. However, I will still purchase them, not so much to wear them, but just so, Shadow Ward. Oh, it's this button. I pressed Shadow Ward. I meant to press, Consume Shadows. Oopsie daisy do. Just for bar go up. Just to make number go up. I was looking a lot at my, mount percentage and my Data for Azeroth mount ranking recently, and I thought, oh wow, all those shot mounts that I bought recently, they count. That's messed up, but that's okay. I like to dress up a bit when I go out with friends or professional gear, but I love having fun, vibrant, colorful clothing. Didn't even think of my tattoos. Yeah, I was about to launch in a whole speech about how I change too much to commit to anything permanent like Botox, and then I'm like, girl, you have both of your arms tattooed. That does not track. Debating my first tattoo, not sure where to begin. How do you find a good local artist? Do they do drafts images for what you want? Yeah, so I found my artist both times. I've been tattooed by 3 different artists. The first one was a total impulse, and I'm lucky that I like it because I just kind of went along. Anyways, I don't recommend that. The second one and the third one are both artists that I found. Actually, the second one that did my cherry blossom tree sleeve, that I looked up online. So I was very homework about it. I made a big list of all of the tattoo artists that were within my area, and then I went through their portfolios, and then I narrowed that list down to people that did the style that I want. And then I went through those portfolios, and then I narrowed it down to people who I really loved all of the art that they did, and that they tended to do the style and type of tattoo that I wanted. Because you're setting yourself up for disappointment if you just go to somebody because you heard they were good, but they do watercolor tattoos and you want like a traditional one. It's not going to work out. So I was very homework about it, because they'll have portfolios posted on websites. A lot of them will have Instagram pages. You can Google stalk them to heck and back, and that's what people want. You can kind of narrow down a name, you can get a phone number, an email, and then what I would do at that point is to contact the artist where you like their portfolio and ask them about how their new client process works. Because any good tattoo artist is going to do drafts for you, but they may require a deposit first. Because obviously I'm sure some people would just go like get a bunch of work done for free, and that kind of thing does take time. So I would just find people that you like, find somebody that you like, talk to them and ask them what their process is like, and they'll tell you what they need and how it works. But yeah, definitely see sketches before you commit to anything, which is the other thing I did not do for my first 2 tattoos. I just kind of wung it. And again, I'm lucky I like them, but for this one I saw for my sleeve that I got more recently, I saw sketches for every part of it, and I would say I like this, can we do this, can we change this, although I didn't have very many notes because Harry's just really good. And that's the beautiful thing about finding an artist that you really like their work, is that you're gonna hopefully kind of trust their artistic intuition, and at the end of the day it is your call what you get put on your body, but the artist is going to have a good idea of what's going to look good and where and how big things should be and how they should flow together. I wanted to find somebody I could trust so that I could trust them, because I don't know. Sometimes an idea sounds good in your head, and then you talk to them and they're like, yeah, that's not going to age very well. Did you gain a level on the board? Yeah, I went from 6 to 5, I think, in the last couple of days. Although it's very close. It's like one or two points of difference. I am not very close to 4, though. I'm not very close to 4 at all. Did your taunt not work there? It may have been resisted. That can happen, especially when you're fighting mobs that are higher level than you. This one isn't, but it's an RNG thing. Gets you into trouble. I want chromatophores, octopi, have it right. Never buy cosmetics. Doesn't feel the same as things that drop in game. I think that's like the perfect mindset. I need to find myself a nice safe little patch of land, and I'm gonna eat another piece of buff food. Artist been launching with a sketch day of, night before at the earliest. Yeah, that was the same as well for me. I would show up. For the first one, I'm pretty sure what I met for a consultation where there was no tattooing at all. And I had previously sent ahead my concept, so he had sketches to show me on that day for when we were first getting started. But after that, I would just kind of like, we would talk ahead of the appointment about what it was going to be, and then he would show me the sketch when I showed up. But he was also really flexible about changing things really quickly. But I think I almost never needed anything changed. I'm pretty sure I just kind of went with all the suggestions, because it was all based on stuff we talked about via email ahead of it. I know what I want in concept, just not artistic. And that's totally fine. I used to be really worried that I didn't have like the perfect image in my head. I didn't know exactly what I wanted it to look like. And it turns out if you did have an exact image in your head, that's a really hard thing to do, because then anything that the artist shows you is going to be competing with that. So it's great to be where you're at, where you kind of know the theme and you know like the style, and you have sort of an idea of the vibe, but you don't know exactly how it's going to get there. That's perfect. You just got to find somebody that does work that's at the style that you want. Speaking of aging, I'm becoming an old man. Guess what I bought today? I want to argue with you and say that you're not old, but I don't want to lie to you because I don't know what old means to you. And I also don't know your age. I guess we're not disparaging being an old man. Are we reclaiming it? Slippers. Oh, right. I was supposed to guess. What would Ujai think would make them an old man? Slippers are for everybody. I got so defensive. Slippers are for everybody. I've been wearing slippers since I was a little bean, and I'm wearing them now, and I recommend them for anybody that gets cold feet and or doesn't like to feel crumbs in their feet. Bifocals. What would make you old? Bathrobes are also for everybody. A stair lift? A cane? A walker? Bingo. Daubers. I don't know, my grandparents like kitchen appliances, but so do I. An ear hair trimmer. See, the raptor extermination effort is ongoing. I'm actually doing a research project about the raptors. I'm trying to get to the bottom of what makes them tick through extensive dissections. Sheesh, okay. Oh. Man, I'm tapped out after Walker. A sleeping mask because I just cannot sleep with the slightest amount of light coming from anywhere anymore. Oh, those are wonderful. Those are wonderful. I remember getting on that train in my 20s. And I actually have like blackout curtains, and I had them at the time too, but the mask was just like that extra level of like, the world is going away and I'm going to bed. Love my sleep mask, can't sleep without it. I had a couple of nights where I would actually panic because it was bedtime and I couldn't find it, and I would like unmake the bed and tear it apart and look underneath and like wake myself completely back up trying to locate it, to the point that I actually eventually purchased a spare sleeping mask that I would keep in my nightstand, so that if I couldn't find the normal one, or if it was in the wash or whatever, I could rotate them because, well, that was no good. Used to be able to sleep wherever. What is happening to me? Oh man. I think this is a great development. I think if anything, it makes it easier to sleep in other places. If you get used to sleeping with like a mask and whatever, that's one thing that makes sleeping like away from home more similar to sleeping at home, because you can bring the mask with you. I take it one step further, which I don't necessarily recommend, but I sleep with earplugs as well, which is really useful if you have partners or pets who snore, if you have like neighborhood sound. It is, you want to be cautious of making sure that your ears are okay sleeping with them in, and you want to make sure that you're still going to be awakened by like fire alarms and stuff. But outside of those things, getting used to sleeping with earplugs in was amazing, because now it doesn't really matter if anyone's snoring or if there's any extra noise. And that's another thing that makes it much easier to sleep when I'm like not home, is it's the same amount of quiet anywhere. What if you lose the backup? Well, then you need the backup. And then the backup. Episode of DuckTales, and I was fascinated. I think I saw them on like a K-drama or something. There was like a student who was like waking up, or like a character of some, I don't know. I saw them on TV and I was like, you know what? I want that. That seems like a great idea, and I'm on board. I'm going to wand this one down. We've got a bit of a double pull here. I should be a bit careful. Coincidentally, am sleeping away from home. Not well, because the light, you get it. Uh-huh. I see. Fully out and on the bed somewhere by morning. Yeah, same thing happens to me. I actually will sometimes, if I wake up in the morning and I'm not ready to get up yet, but my earplugs have already fallen out and they're still snoring, I have a backup pair of earplugs in the nightstand that I'll grab and put those in. But I have discovered that I need to be really careful to find and locate and collect those earplugs, because I used to just have like an earplug graveyard under my bed and it didn't really bother me all that much. But my puppy, as it turns out, will eat them. He will consume them. He has done so. It passed through his system, which was a big relief. But yeah, he will just like yum, 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 gobble, gobble, gobble. Tasty earplug snacks. So I need to make sure that I have cleaned them up if he's going to be anywhere near the bedroom. Because maybe he'll grow out of that. He's a puppy still, but like, oh my god. I was like, oh, he's sniffing the earplug. You don't need that, buddy. Gone. Concept I wanted to enact from DuckTales was swimming in the vault of money, but you can't dive into a pile of metal coins and swim like that. You remember the foam pits from, must have been just like institutions, facilities where you could go jump in a foam pit. There was somebody's birthday party held at a place where there was like a rope swing, basically, where you would swing on the rope and jump out and launch yourself into a pit that was filled with like big foam blocks. And I remember thinking that was really cool. I don't even know if I did it. I don't even know if it was my birthday or like if I went to a birthday there, if I just like knew about them. But I remember thinking this is the best and will surely have a large impact in my adult life. Are you still doing boss videos? Yes, I will do a whole set for the Amir Drasil raid. The Farak guide is going to be late. It might be grievously late because I have problems. But the other 7 of them will be out before the raid is. People always say microplastics are bad for you. Those are not micro, so they should be fine. Scared to put them in too deep. Can't get them out anymore. True conundrum. I've found that I am prone to ear infections if I put them super deep, so I actually have them just half in, and I accept that they're going to fall out at night. And as long as I've fallen asleep by then, it's not usually a problem. Although, like I said, I have to make sure I clean them up now. Holy moly, nothing makes you clean like having a puppy that will just walk up to stuff and eat it. I tell you about the time that my partner like was sweeping, right, with a broom so as not to make too much noise. And also it might have been, anyways, we were sweeping. He was sweeping. And he sweeps up and he's got like a pile of like hair and dirt and stuff, as you do when you're sweeping. And he's gonna go get the dustpan to throw this away. And the dog like walks up to check out the pile of hair and dirt. And he opens his mouth and he goes, "Ow," and he swallows it. Moose, what the heck? For what? Why? It's like we don't feed him. I do feed him, I promise. Nah, he's not 100 pounds yet. I'm not gonna have, unless I'm willing to weigh him by holding him in my arms and weighing myself on a scale. And honestly, my scale that I use to weigh larger things, including people, I'm pretty sure is like pretty inaccurate. It will give you different readings back to back of the same thing, so I don't trust it very much. And he's not due back at the vet for a while, so I'm just gonna have to find out how big he is later. Do you sleep on your side at all? Find them uncomfortable if they aren't in enough? Maybe I just need better plugs. I will tend to like get sleepy on my side, and I'll sometimes sleep on my side, but I mostly roll over to my front when it's time to actually sleep. It's awful for my back. Dog does that too. I'll have dust all over her snoot. Dog has done that too. Any day now, can't be long. Pupper living off eating dust bunnies. Or like grass or bark. He's funny, he likes to strip sticks. He'll pick up branches and sticks and stuff when we're outside walking, and I'm good with this. It's pretty cute. He will trot along with it in his mouth. He's happy as a clam. He's so proud of himself for having found something. Plus, he's kind of like grinding his back teeth on it, which I'm imagining feels pretty good because he's teething. And then typically he'll just drop the stick and then find a different one later. Like, he doesn't eat them or anything. But lately he's been picking up a stick, and it might be like a little oak branch. There's a lot of oak trees around here. And it'll have like a little bundle of oak leaves on it. And it's like, oh, cute, he's got a broom. And then he'll be like, nope. And he'll drop the stick and then hold it down with his paws and then strip all of the leaves and maybe some of the bark off of it with his teeth and then keep carrying it. It's like he's making a spear. I thought he liked the sticks with leaves on them because he'd pick them up, but apparently the leaves are not a benefit. They're not an asset and they must be removed. He's trying to find the perfect stick. My dogs are wet vacs, but not dry vac. Moose is both. Some of the pet stores have scales you can use. Oh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. Although every time I go to a pet store, I buy something. Sometimes I buy lots of somethings. Bark full of fiber. Kills lower back, upper back, shoulders, neck. Can't breathe. Yeah, it kills my back and shoulders for sure. And I think it's the front sleeping has something to do with why I hunch so much. Because like my shoulders fall forward while I'm sleeping. And now they've just fused there into a carapace like a lobster. But my reason for sleeping on my front is, I've told this story before, it's so stupid. We were in health class when I was a teenager, and up to that point I'd been a side sleeper. I'd sleep in basically the fetal position. And they were telling us about techniques to stop front sleeping because it wasn't very good for your back. And they were telling us we could sew a tennis ball into the front of a t-shirt and wear that to sleep so that we couldn't sleep on our fronts. And I thought, anything that people are trying this hard to quit must be pretty good. And I thought, I'm trying it. And I started front sleeping, and I've never been able to change since. I should probably just sew a tennis ball into my shirt. It was the most idiotic logic I've ever had in my young life. It's amazing I didn't end up on drugs. I think I was the same way with like picking at my skin and like acne. I never used to touch pimples when I was a young teenager or a teenager, but then I got to a certain age and I realized people were trying to stop it because I was like, all of this information in health class is like, oh, you really shouldn't touch it. Just leave it alone. You're going to make it worse. You're going to get an infection. It's going to scar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, what is so tempting about touching them that anybody would do that? Gross. And then, of course, I try it because I'm an idiot. Completely the wrong message. Pipeline of sleeping on your front to hard drugs is pretty common. I mean, I managed to make it through all the demonstrations or all the discussions on why you shouldn't smoke and why you shouldn't do drugs. And I never took away the, oh, I should definitely try that message from those ones. So I think it's because when I was that age, and to some extent still, I was very focused and held a lot of importance on the law and the rules. And it was against the law and the rules to do drugs or to smoke when you're underage. And it was not against the law to sleep on my tummy. Or if it is, that I am wanted in the province of British Columbia. Whirlwind Abyss, thank you very much for the 11-month resub. Almost a year. Hope you're having a great morning. Thank you very much. You're a rebel in a tiny space. I think I was probably, if I was making up stories about it, I was probably looking for safe ways to rebel because I was not ready or comfortable or wanting to rebel in any actual ways. Like I would not drink before I was drinking age. I certainly never smoked. I never touched any drugs. I was pretty convinced by all of the pamphlets that told me that they were bad. I was willing to take their word on that and follow those rules. So I was probably looking for more tame ways to act out. Now you're a lobster, stay in school, kids. Wearing mismatched socks, other garments is a great safe way to rebel. I don't even think anyone gave me a hard time about it. Actually, that's not true. People would comment on it. And at the time, I hadn't yet learned to equate comments to ribbing. I later, in my head, started to interpret whenever somebody said, oh, that's an interesting look or haircut or whatever. I later in my head started to translate interesting to mean weird because sometimes that's what it means. Somebody sees something strange and they are looking for a way to comment on it, but they don't want to be unkind, so they land on interesting. And later on, I started to translate that in my head, which is not a great idea. But at the time, I was just like, thank you. It is interesting. So I would, trot along with my weird mismatched everything. Tab in your browser that's playing music. Oh yeah, you know what? I left my focus music open for this morning. Pardon me. Hopefully that doesn't kill the stream VOD. It would have been a bit quiet, but great attitude to have. Yeah. Somebody stopped me on the street recently to tell me about my hair, and it was an older gentleman, and he looked like he was really trying to find the right words. He was like, "Wow, your hair is." And he did that for a while, like he was kind of cycling through things in his head and then deciding against them. And then he landed on punky. He said, wow, that's punky hair. And I said, thank you. And then I continued about my way. But it was funny to watch people figure out what exactly they're going to land on. So if I don't have that, let's turn this up a little bit more then. Audio. Yeah. I can see a punk look. I suppose my hair is a little bit punky. It's a bright pink color. It's quite short. I can see where you would get there. The rest of my outfit's not so much. There's not a whole lot of like chains going on. It's a lot of t-shirts and practical pants. What made you decide to cut it? I wanted something more practical. I have naturally very curly hair, which required an awful lot of fuss in order to make it behave, basically, if I didn't want it to be just a frizz ball. And I was sick and tired of doing that, basically. So I wanted to be able to just kind of like take showers and dry my head with a towel and live my life. And as it turns out, it's everything it's cracked up to be. Bald feel the same? Yeah. Do the kids still do skater looks? The kids still ride skateboards, or at least I've seen young people riding skateboards and doing like their tricks and stuff. So perhaps. Although, you know what? I didn't check out their outfits. I didn't see what they were wearing. Nalu, thank you for the 12-month resub. Happy 1 year. Already a year. It goes so fast, right? TLDR, I'm lazy. Yeah. I think that when I first cut it, I had some delusions that getting all this time back was going to like free myself up for a lot of personal development. And as it turns out, it freed myself up for like sleeping in more and playing more video games, I guess, or like basically just sleeping in more. I can get ready faster in the morning or before events. It's not like I'm a better person or more productive, but I am a bit more relaxed because it's just less... I think this would be different if you had hair that was different than mine, or if you had different standards for how you wanted your hair to look. But because I was on camera every day for stream, I wanted my hair to feel consistent and like I was happy with it. And that was a really hard bar to fit, especially when, you know, maybe you've slept in or you didn't sleep great last night and, you know, you had your wash day 2 days ago and then you did a workout and then you're like, well, because I needed for a wash day, when I was going to wash my hair and reset my curls, that was like a 3-hour process. Mind you, not 3 hours of active time. I was able to play WoW for a bunch of it, but like it was a whole thing. There was like different layers of products. And in between those wash days, if it got wet or disturbed, I could like activate it with steam, but it was just like a whole thing. It was a lot of mental planning of like, okay, when am I going to fix this? How am I going to make it look okay for this? I'm going to be on camera for this thing. It was just a mess. I am comfier now. And it turns out I don't really miss it. I kind of thought I would. Did I think I would? No, I didn't think I would, but people thought that I would. Hellgrave, are you good? Yeah, you're fine. You've always been fine. You've never been better. Why don't you consume some shadows and you'll feel right as rain in a jiffy. Tired of just thinking about that process, let alone living it. Yeah. I think the thing that I would miss is it was fun to experiment with hairstyles. I liked braiding my hair. I liked experimenting with having parts of it up and parts of it down. But I also had a lot of very specific ideas of how I wanted my hair to make my face look, and that involved having volume at certain points and no volume at other points. And then, of course, there's haircuts to keep up with. And I can just kind of buzz this with my clippers in my bathroom, and it feels great. Dancing. Want to headbang a little? I did enjoy the hair flips whenever I wanted to be dramatic, but I still do the hair flip. I just do it with phantom hair. They don't know the wonders of the 90s finger skateboards. I've seen some young people walking around like I did when I was young. The cycle continues. Did you walk around in a notable way when you were young, or are we just... Is it going over my head? Is hardcore more popular than retail? It's hard to quantify. I think they're both popular. Retail is in a little bit of a quiet time. We're having a little bit of downtime before the next major patch. So you've got some people that are playing hardcore kind of while they wait for the next retail patch. But I think they're both alive and well. Is the eclipse happening over you? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that it was. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I'm on Vancouver Island, and I think it's kind of more southeast. Used a good quality clipper recently, better than the cheap one I have. Took a third of the time. Things go placidly. Wigs for different looks. It's been suggested a lot. I'm a bit resistant to wigs. For probably complicated reasons. But the simple reason is that I don't find them very comfortable. I used to wear wigs for cosplay when I was a young teenager. And I didn't care for it. At all. It would have to be a really important look. I think, in order for me to deal with that. I don't even like having clothes with too much polyester or like scratchy tags in anything. I'm weirdly picky about skin textures on my skin, and I think wigs would make me batty. Then will you wear wigs? I think I'm also processing some amount of I don't know. Stuff that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You don't mind a real expensive one, no way to test it. Yeah, I'm all right with it testing it. You know what else I don't mind is this. This works good. Head wraps or scarves could offer different looks. They could. They could also dye different colors too. I can dye my hair approximately every 4 to 5 weeks. And dye virgin hair every 4 to 5 weeks at this length. I can shave it all off and have it grow back to about the same length in about a month with my hair. So I can also try different colors. I'm excited next time to do a warmer tone of pink. I like pink, and I think I'm sticking with pink for a while because it's just so much fun. And I like the way I feel in it, but I want to do, this one's it looks pretty nice on camera, actually. I'm pretty happy with how it looks on camera, but in person, especially in my bathroom mirror lights, it's a very fuchsia. It's like a blue toned, almost purplish pink. And I really wanted more of like a red toned salmonish, like rose pink, like my gnome's hair. I just want to match my gnome's hair. So I'm excited about that. Plus, I finally bought my old brand of home hair dye that I used to use in like 2018, and it smells really good, so I'm excited about that. Nothing matters if the scheme of things is grand enough. This is absolutely true. Miss having fun hair colors sometimes. The pink looks great. Arctic Fox? Yeah. I had gone off them for a while. One, because I was doing my hair with Britt at the studio. And then secondly, there was some PR about the figurehead of that company doing some unsavory things that kind of put me off of it. But as I understand it, that person's no longer connected with the company. And I'm not saying that I always boycott or support things according to the morals of everybody that works there, because that's a really hard bar to keep to. But I feel better about it now anyways. Still in contact with Britt by any chance? No, I haven't spoken with her. I hope she's doing okay. I'm not great at keeping in touch with people. I love my parents very much, and I barely keep in touch with them. It's something that I have had trouble with in the past. Keeping in touch is hard work. It's something that doesn't naturally occur to me. I need to schedule it in. I actually, in the past, have used like reminders in my phone to be like, hey, text this person or call this person or whatnot, because if I don't have something come up, I just won't think of it. It's a unfortunate feature in my character so far. Did that work for you? Honestly, mostly it stressed me out. I didn't always follow those reminders, and I would just feel more guilty about not following the reminders. Sometimes it would, but practically my life has kind of filtered its way down to the people that I am in touch with kind of understand that about me, and they're nice enough to not take it personally. It's not that I'm intentionally ignoring anybody. It's just I'm just like that, and it's not great. It's something I should continue to work on. But the people that have stuck around are the people that get it. What color did you get? That's the color I got. I have a bottle of Frosé for me to use next time. I'm really excited. I dyed my hair once upon a time ages ago with the virgin pink, and I remember that was like, I feel like I made my hair purple with that. I think that was the one that turned out being like a bright purple. I don't really remember. It was a long time ago. Lots of people, many of whom are intensely social, who are terrible at reaching out. I was always that person that would reach out. Sometimes would get depressed that they wouldn't do the same. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that experience of people like always feeling like they're the one to put in the effort to make things happen and to start to feel kind of, rightfully so, a bit underappreciated or undervalued, like they're being taken for granted because of that. And that's something I should be mindful of when I'm thinking about my own relationships. Frustrated, yeah. I have issues keeping contact too. Grandma's Thanksgiving was one of the family events I would really try to go to. This year she's retiring. Don't know if I want to go. Cousins bring extended families. I don't know. Yeah. I get it. Stopped when I realized people didn't reach out to me ever. I've chilled out. That's always good. You know what I found out recently? I thought this plushie was a seal. It's a manatee. I looked it up on the Squishmallows wiki because that's a thing. And I found out that their name is Maeve. They use neutral they them pronouns, and they are not a seal. They are a manatee. I thought there are seals, and they're really cute, and I don't have any of them. And now I kind of want a seal, but I don't. I don't need it. I won't seek it out. But if it happens, if I'm shopping and a seal appears in front of me, I'm not saying I won't take it home. This calls for a full screen. Oh, you want to see Maeve the manatee? Here, in Hazel's latest consumer session, this is Maeve the manatee. Squish, squish, squish. I thought this was a seal when I saw it. It is not. I thought, well, it doesn't have any ears because that would make it a sea lion. Otters over seals? I said it. Do you think they would compete in like a talent competition? High School Musical style? Most of my friends probably feel the same way. They always say yes, become content in being the person who makes plans. That is my one compromise, is that I do, whenever people do invite me to things, I will say yes unless I genuinely have like a real conflict that makes it so I cannot go. I may not reach out or make plans very often, but I don't blow things off. That's my best compromise. I invite you to BlizzCon. About that. I've got a concert to go to. He's really, really cute. If you want to know how someone's doing, you'll think about it. I think reaching out is important if you want to make plans. I am not big on keeping up with people via like text chatting. I don't really DM with people. I don't do really WoW whispers. I don't really keep ongoing Discord conversations. I would, even with Discord, like I would use Discord conversations to arrange times to have Discord calls with people. Like I would say, hey, let's hang out, let's play some games or whatever on XYZ day, or they would say that, and then it would show up and do it then. I am not like a text to catch up kind of person. I don't really text on my phone. I'm not keeping up email strings. It's just not how I do that. So reaching out to people like my family would be less about, you know, chatting and more about like, hey, can we have dinner on whatever day? You know, it'd be like about making plans where you can actually catch up with people in real time. Can get on board the Squishmallow collections. I never got the Funko Pop collecting. I've always liked plushies over figurines, just personally. I think they're all very appealing, but I appreciate that I can't break a plushie. I also appreciate that I can wash them in my washer if they ever became overly dusty. Oh, you know what I never did? I never got, and this has been highly dangerous of me, I never actually got soul shards so that I could A, resummon Hellgrave if it came to it, and B, get health stones. So let's get some soul shards here. Let's actually pay attention for a hot second. I'm feeling a lot better about this leveling now that I've kind of let go of my need to do it with any particular speed. Also, rested helps. I think I'll probably be getting to 40 largely with rested. So there's one. Let's get our health stone, and then let's get a couple more. Hey, Sarai, thank you very much for the 48-month resub. Moose can break a plushie. He might. He might. His current... I don't keep any of my Squishmallows in his zone right now, and I do think he will at some point thieve them. At the minimum, he's going to get them slobbery, and at the worst, he's going to absolutely decimate them. So I'm going to need to be on top of that. He has his own plushies, and I can trade him, and he's good about that. But I'm going to have to be on top of it and like actually witness it happening. Otherwise, everybody's got to watch out. There's a moose on the loose. My goal is just to get to 60 whenever it happens. I see you like to live dangerously if you forget you're doing it. Oh, man. I'm a bit surprised at myself for that one. It's pretty dangerous. Teha, thank you very much for the 15-month resub. Appreciate it. How are my leather? I have 11 thick leather and 37 heavy leather. That's pretty good. I might go back in that ogre cave. I'm just going to need to be a bit careful with that higher level ogre. I think I can take him, especially if my pet pulls him and not me, because then he'll silence Hellgrave and not myself. But I just need to be aware of it so I don't trip on it while on top of a bunch of other stuff. Hubris is a slow and insidious killer. Is that how it goes? Who knows? Not me. Whatever the thing the Path of Ascension NPC said to me that one time before I fell off the edge. There's a clip of me doing the Path of Ascension Kyrian thing in Shadowlands, and I'm getting like a big head about how easy something is, and then I immediately get blown off the edge like the next moment. Cosmic timing, holy moly. Great. It feels like so long ago. Level 33 in my hunter. I have no idea where I should be questing. All the lower level stuff in Stranglethorn already. It's kind of an awkward... I mean, honestly, everything after 30 is a bit of a tough level bracket because the quest can get very dangerous. I've been grinding. I ground in that range, 33. I had kind of finished Duskwood and I was just grinding mobs in Northern Stranglethorn for a while. And then I did... Yeah, I just farm like this, really. If you prefer questing, you can certainly like kind of eyeball some easy quests to do next, but if you're not convinced that they're safe enough, you can always grind like a level or two before you go start them to make them feel better. So we have 2 soul shards right now. I have so many bag spaces. I can afford to keep a couple of extra soul shards handy. Expansion completely changed the vibe of the game from Shadowlands. I remember when the Zerlite Caverns just opened up and I thought, oh, those elites won't be a problem. I was wrong. My hubris is doing quests 2 to 3 levels above me. Oh, wow. You're having a very different hardcore experience from me. It's probably why you're leveling so much faster. Wonder how much better Shadowlands would have been received if it was one landmass. I would say better, but I think in order for it to be really popular, they would have needed to do renowns the way that Dragonflight renowns are, where they're not that important for your character, like for combat, and that you can kind of work on all of them at will. I think that the Shadowlands Covenants was a real Debbie Downer for a lot of people. And I get why they did it the way they did, but I think in hindsight it was not the right move. They needed to... It didn't do them any favors. I'm glad this wand does lots of damage. That's nice. Oh, a strong iron lockbox. My poor panther has been sacrificed to 4+ mobs while I run away like a coward many times. Like 60% of the system's designed? Yeah. I could live in a world where we don't have quite so many things modifying our combat powers and talents and stuff. I like talents, but I don't need soul binds and covenant abilities or... like Shadowlands, like the legendary powers. I don't need so many different things modifying my character's loadout. I'm okay to have my talents modify my character's loadout and then to just like get gear. I think all of those extra systems, when they modify your power loadout, A, they're making the game more complicated. B, they're giving you more like quote unquote mandatory chores. And I just don't think the game really needs them. I think that it works fine, and people will still do other things. I think the gear upgrade system is great, because that's not changing what abilities you're using. And I think tier sets are fine. Those have been around long enough. It's well understood that there's something that you have for one tier, and then you get a different set bonus next time, and it's kind of fun to change things up a little bit. But I'm good with your character's, like, rotation being affected by just talents and tier, and then that's it. I don't need like really fancy complicated like trinkets or other set bonuses, and I think they really did chill out with this a bit in Dragonflight. We don't have quite so many like extraneous talent systems that are mandatory anymore. But it was bad for a while in Shadowlands. It was just too much for me. I'm out of mana. Thirsty. Having to swap Covenants mid X-Pack because Venthyr is best early on, but Necrolord's better for raids later. No bueno. Yeah. Love the simplicity of hardcore so very much. Yeah, it's a wonderful contrast. All right, shall we dance with the ogres? What level is that person? 41. I think Dances with Ogres should be the name of Flabby's hardcore video. He's not making one, but if he did, from what I've seen of how he's leveling his rogue, Dances with Ogres would be a wonderful name. Did you like Legion with weapons and artifact power? No, I really didn't. And like your class hall followers and like, it was not my thing. And Legion legendaries, not for me at all. All of those extra systems were exhausting to me in Legion. I kept up with them because I felt like I needed to. And then again, you had BFA and then you had like your artifact gear. Didn't care for any of that either. I know that they want to give us extra systems that we can progress at endgame so you don't feel done as soon as you finish gearing, but I'm cool with the upgrading being that system. I don't need all this other stuff. How far is he on his rogue? Do I have, here, let's add friend. Flabby. And then let's shift click Flabby, level 58 gnome rogue. Holy macaroni and cheese. So close. However, I will say on the topic of like the Legion stuff, I am not the only opinion on that, and I think I'm a little bit of an unpopular opinion. I think that lots of people really liked that, so I don't want to invalidate that. I think it was good content, it just wasn't my personal taste of content. Hated the legendaries. My first Lego took forever, was the worst one. Yeah. Feel that. I glaze over when I open any talent tree in retail. I just cannot do it. Yeah. I like being able to kind of poke around and change up my talents for utility, I will say. I like, you know, like it's a different Mythic Plus week. I need a different button to use for an affix. I like kind of poking around my tree being like, okay, I'm going to drop this thing and I'll take this. That's enjoyable to me. But my actual like power talents, I make those up from scratch for myself? Never. I always will use either the default starter build or I will use like a Wowhead build. I have never, I don't think ever completely made out a loadout start to finish for myself because there's always going to be this anxiety of like, well, you haven't done it right and you're just doing it wrong. It doesn't feel like meaningful choices. It feels like there are right answers and you may as well look them up because there's no reason not to. So I guess I don't get a lot of fun gameplay out of it. It's a bit more of just a task to do before you start playing, and then I'll kind of look through the build and figure out what I'm supposed to do. In hardcore, I'm not actually following a guide, which might mean that I'm being less efficient in the long run, but for some reason that doesn't stress me out as much in this mode, which is a bit peculiar because you'd think it would stress me out, especially when it's permadeath if you don't have the right thing. But I've enjoyed kind of like eyeballing through the trees and being like, well, this seems like it would be really nice to have. I'd really like to put my points into here. I'm going to build this side of the tree. And then you can respec. I actually respect my Warlock to take out those points in faster corruption because it occurred to me that my pace at which I'm fighting and pulling mobs makes it so it didn't really matter anyway. Oh, there's iron in there. So I took those extra points into Master Demonologist to reduce the damage taken for myself and my guy. But yeah, it's been fun actually like making those choices, and I've gotten more enjoyment out of that. Take a moment to appreciate how good it is that they added the talent import stuff. Yeah, that is really nice, being able to just pop the code in for sure. If everyone is doing something else, they're all wrong. That's a fun way to play too. Zeester, thank you for the 35-month resub. Happy anniversary! I think I spelled that wrong. Happy anniversary. It looks good to me. Did I read it wrong? Happy anniversary. 35 months. Holy macaroni. I've said macaroni twice now. Am I hungry? I don't think I'm hungry. Oh, I'm stiff is what I am. I've been sitting like a vetoing rhyming options. I have not been sitting like a kitten. I've been sitting kind of like a arthropod. Ugh, a little bit like a lobster, yeah. What is an arthropod? Sometimes I say words and I don't even know what they mean. That's a bit of an annoying habit. It's like you're making yourself sound smart and it's not even true. A shrimp. Do you have enough money for a mount yet? I am not actually going to need any money for a mount on this character. Warlocks get their level 40 mount just for free. And then I don't need a level 60 mount because if I get to 60, I'm going to retire. But my hunter is going to need gold and she does not have any. So I guess I'm not above helping out my hunter with my warlock's gold. I guess we'll see if I ever make it to 40, my hunter. Day is mildly hungover and macaroni with cheese sounds kind of lovely. I have leftover pizza. We got a local pizza last night. It was pretty good. Brandy, I think that's probably a lot of it. That's a really good insight. Retiring at 60, too many games out there I want to play. Yeah. I think that so this is where the quest mob spawns. I got the iron, which is good. I know there are chests that can spawn in here too, so I should be able to kind of do some laps of this cave. Oh no, the quest mob might be down this way. That's right. Let's do this brute. Hunter, Druid, Shaman don't really need the mount either. I still want it on my hunter. Aspect of the cheetah makes me 20% faster, but the mount's going to make me faster than that. Plus, my hunter's a night elf. She's going to get a cat mount. Pizza's one of those foods that I can find can be actually better as leftovers than fresh. Depends on the pizza. Yeah, the way I heat it up, it's just as good easily. My favorite thing that is better the second day is curry. Not so much when takeout curry is good no matter what day, I've found, but when I make curry, it is so much better as leftovers when you've heated it up the second time. You have more time for all the flavors and spices and aromatics to like infuse the lentils or chickpeas or whatever the pulse was. So it's like, it's tasty when it's fresh, but it's so good when it's leftover. I need to do another big batch of that sometime soon. So that's a mage. There may be that mob around the corner here. Yeah, there is. I'm gonna send Helgrave to do that. And I'm gonna finish off this mage. And then I'm gonna try and fight Korgresh. It's a higher level than me, but that's the main thing that he does, is that freezing touch that silences. And as long as Helgrave has him, Helgrave ate that silence. So I should be, yeah, he's 39, so he's yellow to me now. He's no longer orange. We should be fine to take him down. And then I can loot that chest without worrying about it. He might have a fast respawn, though, so I'm going to go loot that chest right now. Sometimes quest mobs respawn really quickly. Hurry leftovers are way better. Some recipes for chowder where you apparently make it a day before consuming. It's supposed to be better. Oh. Would that be like a salmon chowder by any chance? Do you make the masala yourself? So what I do, and I should be quite clear that this is not recommended and that nobody told me to do this and this is all my own fault. I will use curry paste, like refrigerated curry paste, and then I also use my own spice combination, and sometimes I'll even throw in pre-mixed spices on top of it. So I might make a curry, and I might use curry paste, and then also some turmeric and coriander and cumin and whatever. Maybe not cumin. And then also some like garam masala. Is this correct? No! Am I redundantly using some of the same spices multiple times? Absolutely. Do I eat it? Yeah. And then of course some fresh ginger, fresh garlic, that kind of thing. I like to improvise because it makes me feel like a witch making magic potions, and because I'm not really feeding it to anybody except for myself and my partner. So it's okay if it's not authentic. Cook some tomato sauce, Japanese curry cubes with pasta, oyster mushrooms, chicken, sunny side egg on top. Oh. Homemade soups are tastier leftover because of the time for the spices to infuse everything. Yeah. I think as long as it's not bland. That is the biggest sin for food in my house is, or food that I've made, is if I make it and it's boring. If it's bland and it doesn't, do something in your mouth, then I have not hit my mark. I have a tendency, I like food to have some real kick to it. Not necessarily heat, although sometimes heat. So whenever a recipe calls for spices, I will, the first time I make it, double that indication. And then if it's too much for me, I will scale it back after that. But I always start out with like a really heavy hand dose of spices because I would rather make it too much than make it boring. And most of the time I prefer it with extra anyway. What about rice or pasta? Those things I find are usually, I don't eat them straight and plain. I'll have rice in a bowl covered with curry that has lots of spices, or like the same thing, the pasta will have the sauce that'll have lots of herbs, the rosemary and the oregano and the basil and whatnot. If I'm not much to just eat like a straight bowl of rice without anything. I don't like it dry. Orange rice. What's orange rice? Do you think you'd ever do a little transmog tour in retail? I'd love to see your favorite outfits. Oh, that's a cute idea. Oh, I wouldn't say never. Oh, wait, there's herbs. Not herbs. The other thing. Rocks. Adding the spices into the rice cooker. I did that once. I made I used some, what did I put into it? A little bit of soy sauce and like Chinese 5 spice and something else. And then like some peas and carrots. And I put that into the rice cooker with the rice to make kind of like some, well, rice. Oh, I see. Garlic rice good too. Yeah, it was nice. I don't know why I never did that again, actually. Just didn't come up. Okay. I wonder what quests you have to do as prerequisites to this one. I wonder if it's the witherbark one. I don't want to commit to going deep in that cave, but I am kind of curious to try out, just poke around the witherbark camp just to get a feel for why it's so dangerous. It sounds all measured and calculated and clever when I say it in my head to me. It might be foolishness. I might want to find out. Witherbark is the prerequisite. Yeah. I'm thinking, well, this other warlock is level... This other warlock is level 37, and they've done it. But they may have grouped for that other one. It's possible. Camp was okay. The cave is where it wasn't worth for me mob-wise density. I just need one shadow knife. But I think they're only in... I just need one shadow hunter knife, but I think they only spawn in the cave. But if I could maybe drag one out, it might be a good one. I'm on Skull Rock, North America. Skull Rock, North America Alliance, which is a bit hipster of me. Kept getting recommendations on how to make Mexican salsa with a mortar and pestle and served in a hot stone bowl. Oh, fancy. I have this preoccupation with wanting to bake things in clay. I don't know why. It just seems earthy and fun. Shall we do some more raptors? Maybe poke around. I just want to look at the trolls. I'm not going to eat the cake. I'm just going to smell the icing. I'm just going to, like, look at the window display of the store. Think you're a nun? Those could be baked in clay pots. Oh. I've seen there's a YouTube channel I used to watch, Country Life something. And it was a family in, I forget where they lived, but living in like a very rural area, and doing various projects and, you know, food preserving and production and whatnot. And they like built a clay oven and they were making a flatbread that was sort of similar to that. And I thought that was really cool. You just like stick the wads of dough to the side of this oven with a big fire in it. It was really cool. Korean bibimbap with the hot stone that cooks the bottom is the best. Should I do a double raptor pull? Nah, just Azerbaijan. Yes, that's right. That's who I'm thinking of. I still don't remember where that is, but I suppose that's okay. Why is cooking things with fire so satisfying? It's just ancestral nostalgia for being cave people a bajillion years ago. You know, when they would probably roast things that weren't exactly vegetarian hot dogs and marshmallows. Oh, I can skin that. That's free leather for me. I must have sold something if I got mail from the auction house. I am halfway through level 37. I'm quite pleased with that. No matter how fast or slow I'm leveling, or how much longer I level for today, which I'm planning to go for a little while longer, I am going to... Really? Didn't aggro... Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm going to... always have this experience. Unless I die. If my character dies, then I suppose that's a level of rolling back, but... At this rate, we're 1.2 hours away from leveling. However, I think my rested might run out before then, so I think it might be longer than that. I don't think that this is going to take into account... I mean, it does say it shows rested, but I don't know if it's tracking that in the perspective. In the Caucasus between Iran and Russia. If your character dies, are you going to start over? I don't know if I would start another Warlock at this point. I might. I don't think I would know the answer to that until it happened. I have a level 30 Hunter, and then I have a couple of like kind of 6 to 10 characters of various classes. It would be hard to start over again fresh. /played, especially when I have 3 days and 13 hours already put in here. Janaya, thank you very much for the bits. Appreciate it. Imagine playing WoW for a full-time job because you love it. Nice person, IRL. Oh, shucks. I would say I'm a person. I can be nice. I can be many things. Just like everybody. Same. Very hard. This is my second Warlock, so one of them did die. I lost one at... Oh, there's lots of ore over here. I lost one at level 15, and at the time, that was like the highest level character I'd ever had, and I thought that was heartbreaking, and it was. But... in context to this now, it wasn't anything. I could get back to 15 in 2 days if I needed to. It's getting back to 37 that would take longer. I need another food buff. What is Wither Touch? Reduces an enemy's stamina by 1, spirit by 1 for 2 minutes. Oh, that's fine. Their average victim level is 38. I'm level 37. Really? Alright. Must be because of density. They do run with fear, so if I wanted to prevent that, I could put recklessness on them. Might do that next time. It doesn't look like they're getting very far in a hurry, though. Not at this level with these dots on them. Well, this is kind of fun. I've never been over here before. I like exploring. Here, you tank that with those dots, and I'm just going to mine this. It's kind of cool being able to press buttons and have them go off while your character's busy, like mining or whatever, because those are actually like your pet's buttons. I really like playing pet classes on hardcore. I don't think I would ever do that on retail. Like, make macros that let me keybind and play my pet like it's my own character. You have, like, command pet buttons on retail where you can have a special ability that your pet will do. But it's not the same. I think retail pets are smarter, but to the point that it feels more reasonable to just let them play themselves, which ironically makes them less fun because I'm not playing them anymore. Oh, no. Oh. Alright, well. We're going to finish this one. We're going to keep our heads. You go taunt that one. Good news is that I do decent chunks of damage. That Axor is also aggroed. And Hellgrave has decent amounts of health. So let's get our dots rolling. We can always sacrifice it. The keybind is Shift V, and then the resummon keybind is... Actually, I should refresh my memory on that. Where's my dominate? Fell domination. That could be important. Come back. Okay. Fell domination. Is on Shift 4 now. It wasn't before. It'd be Shift 4 and then Shift equals on my mouse. That was a bit sketchy. Oh, but there's more. There's 10 up there. Also, I don't think I looted all of those. That's alright. I like cacao. Doing in Wrath for Treants, things are aggressive. They default to attack everything within range. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Oaktech. Your name makes me think of a tree surgeon. This one. Yeah, I want to loot those too. They could have untold treasures on their bodies. They could be carrying anything. And I'll never know if I don't go get them. Oak is my last name. Do you get Pokemon Professor jokes a lot? You must have done. Trees. I love the big trees. They're so messy, but that's okay. They're allowed to be. They can be as messy as they want. That one. That one. And then the tins over here. Mikey Mike, thanks very much for the 34-month resub. I used to, but it's not as popular anymore. Now one more for you, just in case you missed it. I'll take one Bulbasaur, please. Love fall, because the trees are messy and so pretty while doing it. And it's such a, like, rich experience. This is going to sound really cheesy, but I love when you're going for a walk in the fall in the climates that I've done it in. And you can, like, smell smoke because people would have their wood-burning stoves heating their houses, and you can see all the amazing colors across all the different trees, and you can feel the air is different. It's got like that little bit more of a chilly bite to it, and maybe there's a bit of a wind, and you can hear it too because the wind is the leaves are all dry because it's fall, and the wind is rustling them all together, and then you've got like the dry leaves that come off, and they're blowing through the street, and those are making sound too. And the whole experience is just very in-depth, you know. It's not just one thing. It's like a whole sensory thing. That's the word we landed on after all that. Love that too so much. I wholeheartedly agree. Gonna go out for a long walk after stream to soak that all in. I'm extra happy this year because I get to do it with my puppy doggy, and because he loves chasing leaves, and it means there's the wind has like shaken down lots of sticks, and he likes to pick them up and he likes to crunch them like a beaver or like a wood chipper and go. And also he's adorable, so you're kind of like a happiness Santa Claus, in that you'll walk by people. I'm getting this knife, or I'm gonna die trying. One of those things is going to happen. I'm going to refresh my memory of my safety procedures. We have the sacrifice, resummon, Shift V, Shift 4, Shift equals. We also have a health potion on 8, and we have a health stone on 9. I've been netted. I do have escape artist on 5, but I'm going to sit with it for a second. I just need one shadow knife and then I can get out of here. I'm not going to grind in here, but I just want the item one time. There's a shadow hunter. I'm even going to put recklessness on them so they don't run. But yeah, the dog is so cute, especially when he's carrying a stick, that people will just break out into big goofy grins looking at him because he's so stinking cute. And that won't last forever. Eventually he'll be a grown-up dog, and he'll still be cute, but his appeal may be less widespread. But that's okay. Shadow Hunter. They can silence, they have Shadow Word Pain, and they have Curse of Weakness. The Headhunters are what really kills people in here. Those were higher ranked on Death Log. Can you pull him back here? I don't want to run all the way out there. One knife? Yes! We're out of here. We're leaving. I just did this quest. I hate caves. Maybe he'll keep a puppy personality. Based on the other dogs that I've gotten to know at parks and in the streets and whatnot, it's not unusual for dogs to keep that puppy energy for like 2 or even 3 years. So I think he's going to be a big bundle of joy for a long time. Darn it. Whatever do you mean? I'm so happy. And that quest is worth like experience. Plus it's going to have a follow-up that I bet I can do with ogres. Yeah, you got the knife so fast. It is pretty lucky that I got it on my first kill, eh? Larger breeds spend longer as puppies, teenagers too. Parent's dog is 11, still does uppy zoomies. Oh. I love my buddy so much. I love my kitty cat too. She's asleep on the chair back there. She's really sweet. Mr. Moo is just such a sweetheart. He puts up with so much. I think we're right now in that phase of puppy parenthood where we've gotten past most of the very early stress of, you know, having to take him out like 9 times a day and like house training and like we've kind of sorted out a lot of the really difficult stuff that you deal with really early. And we were pretty lucky because he's been an easy puppy as they go, I think. And he's 5 months old, so he hasn't quite hit his stubborn teenager phase yet. And I think that's going to be pretty dramatic because he's got a chunk of husky in him. So if he's going to be stubborn, he's going to be stubborn. I think that is coming. But right now we're just in this lovely phase where like our basic training is going well. Our routine is pretty set up. We've got our places we go. We do everything without a whole lot of drama. He'll settle down when it's time to settle down, and he'll get up and go when it's time to do that. And we're just having like a lot of fun. It's that calm before the storm where it feels like, oh great, we're done, and we're not done. But it feels like it. Those are Horde. We're leaving. We're turning around. We're going this way. There's a buzzard over here. Took me over 30 minutes to get a knife. Oh, y'all on a schedule now. Yeah. It's a flexible schedule, but we're generally speaking doing 3 walks a day, maybe 4. And I think that's part of why it's going so well, is that I am blessed with a lot of time and flexibility, so I can take him for 3 or 4 walks a day, and it's nothing crazy. Most of them are pretty short. Like, we'll do a really short walk in the morning. We'll do a longer, like a 20-minute walk or so in after lunch or before lunch, depending on the time. And then evening time is when we do like a proper outing. And then like just a really short bathroom break before bed, and he's like all set. But, you know, between all of that, he gets lots of everything. And then when he's at home, he's ready to just kind of chill. He's good to just take naps and snooze and hang out. Occasionally steal my hat. Uh-oh, I did not sacrifice my Voidwalker. However, so I could Giga Summon one right now. I think I'm just gonna wand this stuff down because my health is fine. And I want to save my Fel Domination cooldown. I don't know why. I think because I know if I resummoned him, he wouldn't be able to take aggro anyways. I have too much threat built up on this for Hellgrave to really compete at this point. So I may as well just kind of kill it that way, and then we'll resummon him. The Saberclaw, thank you for the 36-month resub. Happy Saturday, Hazel and chat. Just finished watching your weekend update video. Delighted to see Moose getting bigger, but no less adorable. Meanwhile, I'm up to 870s as I use Turbulent Time Waste to blast through levels, build a mound farming army, and transmog overlap coverage. Good luck and good hunting to you all. Thank you very much. You know what you just reminded me of? I don't think I've done my Turbulent Time Waste this week. I think I need to do 4 Time Walking Dungeons. Maybe tomorrow on stream. We can smash that out on my priest because I would love to get the Sandy Shale Wing. No backyard. Makes sense. Lucky to have that. It was one of the reasons I was confident about getting a high energy dog, like a working breed mixed dog, was because I know there's lots of dog parks around here. There's lots of good dog walking, and I was taking a lot of walks already. I was already going for like multiple long walks every day just for my own mental health and exercise. So I knew I would be able to keep up with fitting a dog into that because I was already doing it. And it's a pretty good motivator to know that if you don't go get Mr. Moose some exercise, not that we've ever really missed it, but I'm pretty sure that if I didn't and we just stayed home all day, he would destroy. I think he would, I would go outside and I would find my sofa turned into sawdust. Didn't even occur to me that dogs can have a teenager face. It was something I didn't know either until I started reading a million articles and books about raising puppies. Apparently they can sometimes regress in their training, and they can get like they just get kind of an independent phase where they want to do their own thing and they're less interested in listening to you, which can cause some troublesome behavior sometimes, I've heard. We'll see. We're pretty laid back. My rules for Moose are pretty chill, and I'm giving him a lot of leniency because he's a puppy. He's a baby, you know, like he's not going to get everything perfect. He's just a young one. So I'm working on trying to teach him and show him the right thing to do and not worry so much about he doesn't exactly get in trouble. He's pretty spoiled. Or people might think he's spoiled. I think he's doing great. But yeah, I'm interested to see how his rebellious phase goes, because there isn't a whole lot for him to really rebel against unless he again wants to turn the couch into sawdust or just start like mauling me. Which I hope he doesn't, because he's got a lot of bite strength to him. He's learned wonderful bite inhibition. He likes to chew on me, and I don't really let him do it, but even if he's just like kind of gnawing on my hand, he doesn't actually like chomp. He's just kind of, Mom, I want to chew on your fingers. You just need a walking companion. Challenge for Alpha. Yeah. Good luck with that, bud. I'll eat all the earplugs I want. Dungeon bonus event. Create extra loot to Dom the Infinites. Ooh. Ooh. I'm pretty sure the cat's the alpha in the house. If there was to be one, anyway. We've decided to not worry overly much about dominance theory as we raise the dog. It's only 10:38. We've been streaming for an hour and 42. According to Titan Panel, I might actually finish this. If Titan Panel is accounting for the rested running out. I don't know if they are. But if they are, then I might have a chance at hitting 38 before the end of the stream. And doing one level in a stream at this point, I think it would be pretty cool. At 38, I get rank 4 of Agony, I'm pretty sure. Rank 4 of Agony. I could learn to detect Invis, which I'm not really going to worry about. Especially because Invis, I think, is distinct from Stealth. Oh, hey, I got a green. Almost never happens. Cloth, Agi, Spirit, Shoulders. I think those are vendor trash. Oh, that's a limited market. Drain Life 4. I have not. You'd think that Drain Life, I was really excited about it the first time around. I thought that was going to be a big part of my toolkit. I have not really been using it. And then Drain Soul 3 is also, I think I can sit that one out. You still get the Soul Shard. It's just less damage over time from it. And most of the time, I'm killing the mob that I'm soul draining with like my dots instead. Yeah, I think he is naturally more submissive, which does make things way easier. There's a lot of controversy in dog theory and research and training about how much water dominance theory holds in terms of house pet training and family dynamics, and different people will hold wildly different points of view on it. And my logic is that as long as everything's, functioning harmoniously, it's and your animal's being treated with respect and with compassion, then you're doing fine. Everybody's going to kind of find their own way and find what works for their family and their dog. I
You need something?
have a lot of raptor eggs. Shall I cook them? No, that'll take too long. How's my bag space doing? I've got 23 bag slots. Oh, I can sell all this raptor,
How are you?
I'm gonna sell the raptor hides. I would make more gold if I cook the raptor eggs before I sell them, actually.
See you around.
Are there trade? You're a trades goods vendor, actually. So we have, what are we talking about? 35, I guess I am cooking. 35 raptor eggs. You know what? I haven't taken a break yet, so let's roast a bunch of raptor, and I will, oh man, there's also the omelets. So here, give me another, like, 24.
Looking for something specific?
We just need lots of hot spices. I'm going to set my character to cooking, and I will be right back. Last time I was at the store, I bought Moose a bigger water bowl. He had been using kind of like a medium-sized one. And I got him a 6.5 cup bowl. And he can almost finish it in one sitting if he's thirsty enough. And then he kind of looks around like, wow, it's a lot of water. Look. Goofy boy. Oh, alright, so we did that. Roasting some raptor. I feel a bit bad about burning these potential cooking skill ups. But if I want to get my cooking skill upgraded that one last time, so it scales all the way to 300, I'm going to need to go to Tanaris and do a quest. And that sounds icky, yucky, gross. So that's a later me problem. Morgan, thank you for the 3-month resub. Ads suck. Welcome back to the ad-free club. Need to start pushing Prime subs to feed Giant Bear Dog. Should push Prime subs to buy Giant Bear Dog a piece of property in the woods where he can go chase squirrels and get into trouble. How do people push Prime subs again? They say, hey, if you have Prime, give it here. 1 money, please. You don't even have to pay more money. You already paid the money, etc., etc. See? Hand it over. It's a bit more like a mugging. I have, I betcha, a good follow-up quest to pick up that I might even be able to do. I love Giant Bear Dog. He's just perfect. He's just perfect. He's so much fun. Moose on the pet cam have the caption sub to pet the dog. I should genuinely try this one day. If we get to the point where he's A, allowed in the office around Kira, and without my direct attention supervising him personally, and then B, like chill enough to just like hang out. I think eventually we might get to a point where he'll just like sleep on a bed in my office while I'm streaming. then I should try that. Not all the time, but just for pardon me. It would be fun in hardcore too, because then you could like try to get me killed by making me pet the dog, but you'd have to pay me for it. It would be great. I'm looking for the wanted board. No, that sounds like a mistake. That sounds like a bad idea. Wand over fist. Oh yeah, that's the same ogre that we've killed now. So now we get to go back and do it again. I know I can go into that cave, so let's go take that on. Did I clear up enough space in my bags? No, I'm gonna vendor some more stuff. 50 gift subs to pet the dog during raid. How many gift subs to pet the dog during cave? How many pets does the dog have to have? We were vendoring. What else were we vendoring? Here, we can probably drop like some extra roast raptor. I'm sure we're gonna get more of it. And that stuff vendors for 3 silver per, which is pretty nice. We can get rid of these fangs, the spider legs. I think I just heard him sneeze. The maybe meat. Because I do keep stuff to sell, but oh yeah, those durable shoulders of the wolf. Those gotta go. 1 barbecued buzzard wing. Yeah, okay. 43 gold. Wow. Have you ever, don't answer this. Have you ever seen anybody so fabulously wealthy before? Sentiment, thank you very much for the 2-month resub. Appreciate it. How do you keep motivated? Mount farming, ADHD brain can't keep on fishing for auto. That's fair. If you need a break, you need a break. Sometimes you just need a novelty switch, just something else to work on for a bit. I find I have a much easier time getting into it if I block out all other options from my radar. So I like untrack the other quests. I will maybe like write down in my notebook that that's the one thing I'm working on and the steps that I'm working on. I try to like really front and center the thing I'm supposed to do and clear out anything that's not on to do, to help my brain realize that where I'm supposed to go. But yeah, no, that's tough. Sometimes you just need a break or like a little change of gears. I change gears all the time on hardcore. I like bounce between different characters to level because I'll get bored grinding. My Warlock's a great example. I like playing her, but I get bored grinding because that's pretty much all I'm doing. So then I'll go play like a low-level character for a bit because that's more fun, or I'll go play Animal Crossing, or I'll go vacuum my house. I need to vacuum. There's a vent that's got like some dust in it, and I betcha I can get up there with the hose and like the crevice tool, and I betcha I can clean that sucker. That's no more dust. Dust. They call me Buster because that's what I do to dust. I'm going around. Helps being tall. Yeah. Cleaning is not fun when you're short. I do have relative tall privilege. I do. It's true. Also, my new vacuum that I spent a ludicrous amount of money on, although less than it could have, it was very much on sale. But you know, that's just the rationalization talking. Telescoping wand works pretty good. Zoom in, zoom out, make it the perfect length. Can't reach the top of fridges or cabinets. I got myself a step stool. It's funny, I got it for myself and I like kind of researched into it because I really wanted something that was like sturdy and felt safe and felt durable, like I was going to use it forever. And I was really pleased with it, and I bought it before my move and I brought it with me. I needed something to help me reach like fire alarms in my old high ceiling place. Still wasn't enough, but it was, you know, good for light bulbs. And when I moved, it turned out that for Christmas that year, my mom had actually purchased for me basically the same thing. She ended up having to take it back because she was like, "You don't have one of these, do you?" And I'm like, "No, I super do. Thank you, but I definitely have one already." So I think it found a new home with somebody else. But it's funny that I'm not the only one that thinks it's really important to have like a really good folding step stool. I've got like a Rubbermaid one. But it's great because sometimes you got to change light bulbs, you got to clean up top of places, and it's nice having something stable that you can use to get to the top of stuff. But it also helps being 5'10". Squatty potty helps reach tall things. You got to live your own life. But if I was going to be annoying and preach, do be careful because those aren't designed for you to stand on them with your full weight. I have one too, and they can and will tip. Although maybe it's just my model. I don't have like the branded one. I got like a bamboo wood carved one because I thought that would make it look less like a squatty potty. I don't know. It's a classy squatty potty, okay? Don't come for me. Wobbly. Yeah, it's and I'm like so not the person to preach about this because I am that person that will stand on like a spinning office chair to change a light bulb by myself with nobody spotting. Horrible idea. Great way to die. Firefighters hate me. I don't do that anymore. And I don't condone it. But yeah, it's rich of me to preach for that, but do please be careful climbing up because you can get very hurt. High ceilings are so beautiful, but they're so, like, you really need to be able to get up there safely to do, because there's, like, light bulbs and fire alarms and stuff up there, and, like, oh, hardcore domestic style, yeah. Oh, there's ores in here. There's iron deposit, and there's more iron deposit. My mining skill is at 173, and I'm pretty sure if I get to 175, they're going to let me start to mine mithril. Let's go to the left first, actually, because that's where my quest mob is, I think. I know, I've been here before. It's not my first rodeo. One in each bathroom. Hub spot a step stool. Said he was going to come home, find me injured or worse. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's one of those safety things that's really... One of our regulars works in an ER. Next time they're around, we should ask them. ask them to remind us not to balance on dumb things when we're trying to reach high places, because I bet you anything that lands people in the emergency room. They've already warned us against to be very careful when cutting bagels, because apparently that one really takes it out of you, and then, you know, motorcycles. If you could come this way, please. Thank you. Bagels? Yeah, it has something to do with the way people tend to slice bagels. In a way that the knife could angle towards your hand that is stabilizing said bagel, I think. And also sometimes they're frozen, sometimes they're super tough, sometimes you're putting a little bit of extra muscle in it to try to get through it. I'm making all this up, but it sounds true. Apparently that can be quite dangerous. I'm extra cautious now slicing bagels because of that. I will sometimes, if I can't find like a good way to grip it, I'll actually wear my oven mitt while I'm slicing it, to hold it on the hand, not on the knife hand, but the hand that's holding the bagel up, because I know very well that I am dancing with the devil. Don't mind me, I'm just going to try and keep an eye on, if you could grab him back, I'm going to finish off this one. Because I don't really want to hit that silence. That's a long silence, so if you could... Oh, he's rooted though, isn't he? He should have enough doll left on him. I'm going to hit my health stone. There we go. So we got the one we needed for the quest. We're going to consume shadows to heal back up. We're checking the sidebar. Sometimes there is a chest back there. I'm also going to go mine this node. A little bit spicy. I need to make a new health stone to replace that one. Don't eat bagels often. Never slice them. I enjoy being a savage. Middle of this double ogre pull is a great time to stop to pet the dog. I only use scissors. I hate knives of all sorts. I find my scissors always end up dull. I've never successfully sharpened a pair of scissors. I like that knives are easy for me to sharpen, which I understand makes them safer, because they move more predictably. I do need to sharpen my chef's knife again, though. I haven't been honing it, and I've gotten a bit lazy. It's quite dull. Foil will sharpen them? I see. I have a whetstone for my knife, but I've not tried scissors. I know someone who makes knives as a hobby. It's actually really super neat. Cut my fingertip off last month trying to chop an onion with a dull knife. Oh, I'm so sorry. That sucks. Was it reattachable? I hope. Owie. No fun. I'm going to withhold my own similar story because I know how this conversation goes, and it's never a place that makes anybody excited about lunch. So I'm gonna ask, how are all of your pets doing? Kitty, cats, doggies, birdies, fish, bloop, bloop, bloop. Any fun, cute stories? Angular looking fingertip. My condolences. Let's go turn this in. I wonder if there's even another follow-up quest. Although, I bet you the next one would be, if there was, it would be more dangerous. My kitty, Nina, is fine. Aw, Nina's a very cute name for a kitty cat. Tarantula's doing well. Thanks for asking. Kitty got her 4 teeth removed yesterday, but now she's happier than ever. Oh, nice. I hope she gets lots of delicious soft things to eat while in recovery. I know that was tough for my kitty cat. But yeah, so nice to see them feeling happy and better and back to feeling like a cat again after they recover. Cat tried to steal my wrap. Axolotls know it's water change day and are hiding. You know, take their little calendars away. Sister's cat has taken to sleeping in the baby boppy. My sister's cat has taken to sleeping in the baby boppy. There are many pet beds, even a tree for him, but no boppy on the floor. This must be a regionalism. Please help me. What's a boppy? Doggies are still in bed. It's 3 p.m. Next quest has to do with elite ogres. Got a kitty on my lap. Cat Pixie's 4th birthday yesterday. Oh, happy birthday to Pixie. It's a baby seat. Like a bouncy one? I'm trying to think about my infant nephew. What does he sit on? He sits on the floor. He sits on his butt. He sits on my mom's lap. He sits on his mom's lap. Our large airplane neck pillow, but to support your arms and baby while holding. Oh, nice. Do I see? Am I just saying that? A large airplane neck pillow, like one of those things. Support your arms. Oh, cool. That sounds comfy. I'm still a bit, I love my nephew. I'm a bit awkward with him. I think he likes me well enough. We get on fine. But I'm not naturally physically affectionate the way that I've seen other people be with him. I would feel a bit strange to just like scoop him up and sit him on my knee or like give him a big hug. I gave him like a little shoulder rub once and everybody thought that was funny. Oh, it's a name brand. Oh. I think that we're gonna do fine. We're gonna do great, but we'll have maybe different phases of our relationships later when he becomes verbal or when you know, he needs like advice on what kind of switches he might like for his gaming keyboard. My niece likes me in 15-minute intervals. Sent the dogs to the pet groomer to get them ready for the summer. Getting hot in here. Suddenly it's chilly again, so now they're using clothes. Wowie! Oh, they've been shorn. Interacting with children is something that definitely took me some practice to get used to doing. I think something that's I don't know if it's good, but that I'm doing is to try and worry less about what I'm supposed to do and more just try things, assuming they're not like mean. Just try things and then see what he likes, you know. Not to assume that he's going to like one thing or not like a thing because he's a baby, and just kind of be like, hey, how's it going? And just see, you know, does he like stories? Does he like silly voices? Does he like funny faces? It's hard to go wrong with a smile and wave. He likes the big fishies I wear on my shirt. He's in a big pointing phase right now. He likes to point at people and then we identify ourselves to him, and this entertains him to a great degree. It's the way to do it in my experience. Apparently he's a member of Generation Alpha, which is something I hadn't even thought of before. Here's another one. Doesn't just stop with Gen Z. They're starting it all over again. He's helped me set up my new PC. She rolled in the bed while I unboxed everything, and then she sat and ran Ultimate Fusion with me. Aww. It's super cute. Okay. How much experience am I gonna get? Actually, are there any cool questions? No. While you're gone, I'll figure out what we're gonna do about Stromguard. Oh, true, Stromguard. Nothing is the answer to that.
Great to meet you.
Well, we got 3,000 experience anyway. So yeah, I'm not going into Stromguard. That's where people die. Shards of Mizrael is also about my level, but that sounds... What do you want me to do? Gather 12 motes of Mizrael. I mean, I guess I can pick up the quest. What's the harm? Right? I suppose it'll take me a while to do, so if there is any harm, there's time for people to tell me before I get there. One of my friend's kiddos likes me to read to them, but also likes to correct my pronunciation when I read her French books. That's cute. Helpful. Other day at Waffle House, I was playing peekaboo with a child. Ladies that work there were like, aw, baby smiled for her. I was leaving. I don't know why I've sometimes felt uncomfortable around children. I don't know what that's about, really. I feel very naturally comfortable with dogs and cats. And I feel fine introducing myself to, like, crows and fish and squirrels and any, like, animals. But for some reason, young humans are a bit of a blind spot for me. Or you'll hurt them by accident. Squeal makes me uncomfy. Also feel the same way. And I wonder why. I don't know what... Usually with fears, there's like a negative outcome that you're concerned about, and I don't know. I haven't pinned down or unearthed whatever that is. What is it that I'm worried about? I don't think I'm gonna break him because I'm not really doing anything dangerous. Panic when they start to get fussy. Phobia of dropping a baby. Yeah, that would be scary. Oh, there's tin up there. Shall I get it? Sensitive ears, squeals, that negative association for me. Yeah. I think I must have some things I need to work out from... I mean, I never really took to babysitting or childcare when I was younger, even though it's something that a lot of preteen and teen girls are kind of expected to do. And most of the time I managed to duck out of it, but when there was a certain phase of my life where I did a certain amount of childcare, and it was, nothing happened necessarily. You know, the child survived. There weren't any like major accidents as far as I can recall, but I think there were some tensions around the whole situation that maybe have that maybe are still sticking with me. And maybe I need to do some introspection to figure out if that could have anything to do with why I'm so uncomfortable with children now. There was some stuff that was a bit off about that. Your hair, I love it. Why, thank you. Don't know either. Wonder if it's just a strong lack of maternal instincts. I figure that, evolutionarily speaking, the universe just decides to make some of us not want to be parents just to make sure there's enough of us around to be cool aunts and look after our siblings' children. Which is working out great so far. Because I've also never really felt that instinct to want to have my own children. Or like that draw or appeal towards them. And I think that's just kind of like I don't know, if anything, like a genetic thing where the universe is just like, yeah, you know, you don't need to. We're good. There's enough. There's other good reasons. There's other good reasons that being child-free can be an advantage that I've come to realize later. But I think that initially, if I had felt that desire, I would have overcome any of those obstacles. And because I don't feel that desire, I guess I'm set. But I've always figured that was just like a switch in me. Could be an okay parent, not a strong desire. Happy to babysit, though. Could babysit one singular kid in my late teens. Fiercely independent girl, just wanted to watch a movie. Oh, that sounds really cute. Oh, Bella Bird, I'm really sorry. That's really unfair. I don't know what this is going to sound very strange. And probably overstepping a bunch of things. And it's more for the universe than for anybody in particular. But I don't know anything about, or I don't know very much about my general reproductive health. But I've often kind of wished that if it was in good order, which it might be, I don't know, that I could trade it with somebody that had that desire to have children that didn't have the physical ability to do it, because it's not doing me any good. I would, and that's, again, strange, weird, overly personal thing to say, but I would totally trade systems with somebody that needs it. Perhaps in a bit in poor taste, but when we were talking about, having like a dog spayed or neutered, it's like, I wish somebody would spay me. My reproductive organs have caused me nothing but physical pain. Oh, debilitation. Not had a desire for kids till now, and I'm about to turn 42. Conundrum. Parents were friends of my parents. Paid me ridiculously well for sitting there in their living room. Covered cab fare to and from their house. Well, that's wonderful. Can't have kids either. I asked my doctor for a spay. Yeah, maybe next time I talk to a medical professional, I'll ask what the landscape is like and if there's any benefits to me to having anything done, or just investigating perhaps why my body is intent on tormenting me. Get vetted for endo or whatever. Been in pain for years. Surgery is Thursday. Having a uterine ablation. Oh. You could donate your eggs if you were able. I could. I don't know if the world needs any more of my genetics, though. I think that my family health history and mental health history don't get me wrong, it's workable, but I don't think I would be doing anybody any favors. Also, donating eggs is not as easy as donating blood. That is a really invasive, difficult, painful process not impossible, and not a bad thing to do by any stretch, but it's not something that you can just kind of like drop off a bag of eggs at Goodwill. There's like barriers. This has been a strange conversation. What am I looking for? I'm looking for nothing. I was going to kind of head over carefully because there might be horde over there, but I wanted to go see if I could pick that quest up. Have you been dropping off bags of blood at Goodwill? Are you not meant to do that? Go back to the southeast, do the troll quests? The southeast. Southeast. I did that one. I got the withered shadow hunter blade earlier. I do have an IUD. I've had a few of them at this point in my life. Not at the same time. I'm not just like packing them in there, but that was the first course of investigation to try to fix me. I do think it's good for me, and I would get it again when this one's ready to be swapped out. But holy moly. Some people, I think, have an alright experience with IUD insertion and removal. And I'm really happy for them. Not to get us back onto the injury and the pain Olympics, but that was the worst pain of my life. That was the worst pain of my entire life. And you know, every 5 years or so, it's gonna be quite the VOD. I know, right? I keep betting in my head to be like, well, how controversial is this? I mean, it might gross some people out. We should probably move on. So random, I love it. It's just one of those things that you don't hear people... I mean, you hear people in certain circles talk about it, but in other circles it might never come up. And sometimes it's nice. Like when I was considering getting an IUD, I was digging for anybody's perspectives on what, like, had they have it done and what do they think of the whole thing and whatnot. Like I wanted to know more about people that had done it. So I figure it's probably not a bad thing to share. Got the arm implant. Feels weird. Works better in the shop for me. I have one of the implants in my arm. Works a charm. It's either running at the Gnomes event today in retail, 4 p.m. Scarlet Crusade Realm. It's okay to talk about. Yeah. It's just like more, I don't know, medical and personal and individual. And also anything relating to women's health always ends up getting some people a little bit. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know that. I'm projecting and I shouldn't be. All right. Shard of Misrael. How you doing? Motes of Misrael. My name is Misrael. I'm a princess of the earth. Crystal shards are the only way I can speak with the surface of the world. Please help me. The just dry whisker kobolds gather motes of Misrael from the kobolds. So people do die up there, but let me go poke around the outer kobolds and see how they do. An IUD is an intrauterine device. It's a physical thing that is implanted directly into a person's uterus. They can be made of copper or they can be made of plastic. Sometimes they have hormones, sometimes they don't. And it's a form of birth control, but like many birth control, the hormonal ones in particular can also be used to control or try to treat any number of other hormonal symptoms that person might be experiencing. They can be used to treat things like menstrual cramps, mood swings, the normal bevy of insane things that hormones can do to your body. Yeah. They typically last for a lot longer than some other forms of hormonal contraception, like the pill you would take every day. The ring, I think you would change out like every month. An IUD can be, depending on the version of it, it can last for anywhere from like 5 to 10 years, I think, or at least that was my last data on it. And they can be... They're assuming that it's seeded correctly. It's one of the more reliable forms of birth control because there's no human error in it, assuming that it is seeded correctly and it hasn't shifted, which is something that you can check. Yeah, a lot less annoying than like taking a pill every day or whatnot. Got that here in Europe as well. Haven't come across this term. I have adenomyosis. Estrogen is the devil. Arm implants are fascinating from a pharmaceutical point. Also a pharmacist. Hi, hello. Hello, Scarlet. Almost impossible to get anesthetic. Dreading replacing mine. Yeah, I feel you. I don't think I can give any advice. Not that you asked for any, that you wouldn't have already heard. I would just take a strong dose of ibuprofen, prepare with hot packs, and you know, try and. I don't know, the last time was awful. The last time was horrible. I was in pain to the point of being non-functional for hours. But later, I was fine. And then you get 5 years of being A-okay, so I will do it again. I'm hoping that maybe it's easier the third time. Bananas. Yeah. They have you lie down just in case you faint. Better when you get older, but menopause is much more than what we've been told for a lot of women. Yeah. Yeah. Main reason I opted for the arm implant, got local anesthetics for when they put in that. Yeah. How long does that last? If you don't mind me asking. I'm curious about that. Can you ask for like versed or something? I don't know what that is. Had to go to a specialist to put the device in. It's a medication. Ibuprofen does help, and that's available over the counter. They can also sometimes prescribe you stronger ibuprofens. You obviously don't want to hit it too hard because those can cause problems with your organs, but for limited time uses like that, it can be nice. That's what they gave his husband for his surgery. Lasts about 3 years for the arm implant. Oh. I'm glad I'm not the only person whose body attempts to turn me into a pretzel and then throw me in the river every month. Oh, Sinatosto, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's awful. Definitely not alone there. Yeah. But it's the body I got. And it's good at other things. I can run pretty fast when I'm afraid. I can fall asleep without a whole lot of drama. I appreciate that. I have a good sense of smell. I think. Hard to quantify, because I've never had anybody else's sense of smell to compare. So basically what it comes down to is the can you smell that inquiries, where you figure out whether or not somebody else can indeed smell that. Partner hates my ability to fall asleep in 0.01 seconds. Oh, Scarlett, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Very poor sense of smell. Which in some cases could be an advantage, especially when related to pet waste. Or other messes that might have a strong smell. But, man, fresh bread has to be my favorite smell. I know that's not a hot take, but, like, you know what's hot is the fresh bread. Right out of the oven. I have never been told I smell bad, so I assume I smell good. He can tell me when I'm going to start. I swear he was a dog in his previous life. That's wild. Fresh bread and freshly ground coffee. Oh, at the same time. I love the way that my dog and my cat smell. When they're like nice and clean and you kind of like bury your face in their fur when you're giving them a big hug. I like clean laundry. My cat likes clean laundry. Freshly cut grass. For some reason, and I really hope this doesn't ruin freshly cut grass for anybody, it makes me think that every little blade of grass is screaming. I think that what I'm smelling is the agony of grass blood, and that there's been a grassacre, and I'm smelling the aftermath of it. So that one, it doesn't distress me, but I wouldn't say it calms me. I feel that, me too. But it's that logic doesn't hold true for everything, because like herbs and tomato plants and other plants that have like really nice smells that you get when you disturb them, because those little micro wounds in the plant cause them to release oils that smell really nice. I love all those smells. I love like handling a tomato plant I love like shaking up the rosemary or the lavender. And I'm sure those things are all uncomfortable for the plant too. But if I start worrying about ethics with plants, then there really isn't a whole lot of space left for me to live my life. So I am very pragmatic when it comes to plants. Uncle's the type of guy who'll find something to hyperfixate on, go all in. Built a brick pizza bread oven on his porch, delivers fresh bread to his neighbors on the weekends. That's incredible. They're released to warn nearby plants that a stress event is coming. That's why land is measured in acres, because that's where the grass occur. There you go. Herbalist Guild. You guys get me. I haven't made any bread since Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving. Which admittedly was not that long ago. I burned it. It smelled so good when I was taking it over that I thought I should make another loaf just to have it home. He's like, can you send me some Canadian bread? I am not authorized to ship food products domestically or internationally. I'll send you the thoughts of bread. UK has good bread too. I love bakeries. Because you can go into them and you can look around and then you select something to buy and you give them money and they're typically happy because you've given them money. And then I'm typically happy because I get to eat the bread. It's just nice for everybody. The only problem is if you don't have any money, which admittedly happens to everybody from time to time. Where am I going with this? What has been my favorite tea been lately? I got a big box of Twinings English breakfast to be my go-to standard issue cup of tea. And I've been enjoying that. And then I had a citrus ginger loose leaf herbal tea with my mom recently when she came over that she liked. I got that one at the farmer's market from the lady with the singing bowl. 2 surgeries later, broke AF. Bakery bread browsing is the best. Bakery bread browsing is the best. It's like a tongue twister that's trying to make you say the word breast. Not that that's how you intended it, but I just like tongue twisters. Superstore has a cardamom tea that I'm a big fan of. Ooh, you know what I recently got that I found that I had really been missing out on is I really wanted, especially when I was sick, a honey ginger ginseng tea. I forget if it's honey ginger ginseng, honey lemon ginger ginseng, some amount of those 4 flavors, 3 of those 4 flavors. It has to include ginseng and it has to include honey. I think the ginger and the lemon are interchangeable. But anyways, love that. And I didn't have any. I used to... Different brands will make it. It's typically available as just like an off-the-shelf box of like tea bags. And I used to buy it and then just go through pots of it with honey on my coffee table while binging K-dramas whenever I had a cold. And I found some. It was green tea, which is where I messed up. I was looking at herbal teas, and it turns out this Tetley one is a green tea. Maybe the rest of them were too. But holy smokes, I made some of that when I was feeling sick. And I was drinking it, and I was like, this is magic. This is... elixir. I have discovered the path to something. I'm too scared to fight that kobold. We've gotten too close to the Hammerfall wall. I don't like it back here. Miss seeing Hazel's tea of the day in the bottom of the screen. In my little hand-drawn screen overlay. Asymmetrical little thing. It is how I intended it. Tea of the day. Coffee. That's pretty much what it is. The last time when I was feeling a bit ill last weekend, I had some tea on stream. I stopped stream and went and made a pot of tea in the middle of it and then brought it back. But most of the time, if I'm having that big red cup, that's just coffee. That red cup is exclusively for coffee. I like to match my mug to my beverage. It makes me feel like I have control over some part of my life. Watched you all the way back on YouTube. That was... How long ago was that? When did I stop streaming on YouTube and switch to Twitch? It had to be like 2017 or 18, right? Or was it earlier than that? I've discovered the cure to feeling better. Go closer to the Hammerfall walls. Lots of new green friends to make inside. Was it 2019? It may have been. The reason I think it was earlier than that, I did both for a while. I streamed like a couple days a week on Twitch and a couple days on a week on YouTube because I was like gathering data or some BS. But the reason I think that it was early was because late 2019 was when I got invited to go to Twitch HQ to do that WoW Classic scavenger hunt of all things against Bajira, which was a fun event, but I don't think they would have invited me if I was still streaming, if I wasn't streaming much on Twitch yet. I must have had enough of a presence to be a thing. I think. I don't know. Time's hard. Today was my 4-year sub, and I've been subbed most of the Twitch time. 2019. I guess 2019 was like 4 years ago. I could find out if I looked on YouTube and I looked for the last YouTube stream VOD, because when I streamed on YouTube directly, the stream VODs were all already automatically there, so I posted them. So I could find out that way if I really wanted to. Is there any reason I shouldn't let the princess out? Is she gonna come break from her prison and then be like, bonk? Joke's on you. Never trust a trapped entity who is claiming that they need to be released. Pardon me. I've heard craving homemade warm bread and tea now. I haven't been writing down my list of things to do lately. And also, incidentally, I haven't been accomplishing as many things. Sometimes I do things. And if I'm halfway doing a thing and I never put it on my to-do list, it makes me less likely to make a to-do list in the rest of the day, because I'm like, well, either I do that thing where I write down the thing I already did and then check it off, which is a little bit goofy, or I make my list from scratch for the things that I want to do for the rest of the day, but then I feel like I've been cheated out of... I feel as though I've been cheated out of, you know, credit because I already did things today. And I guess the answer is to write my list first thing in the morning, but I don't do a whole lot first thing in the morning. My morning routine is pretty charmed and pretty easy. My partner does a lot. My partner does a lot for me in the morning. How's your puppy? My puppy's really good. He's getting big very quickly. I was watching a show about dogs, and they talked about dogs going through a growth spurt between 6 and 9 months. And I'm a little bit worried because Mr. Moose is not even 6 months old yet, and I feel like he's done his growth spurting, but perhaps he has further growth spurting to go. What kind of puppy? He is a German Shepherd crossed with Alaskan Malamute, Siberian Husky, Australian Cattle Dog, Rottweiler, Labrador, Pit Bull, Maremma Sheepdog, Keeshond, Staffy, and then there's 4 more. There were 14. He's a big ol' Heinz 57 mix, but his he looks like a German Shepherd. He's 24% German Shepherd. I did a DNA test, and I've been insufferable ever since. Yeah. I'm impressed you remember most of them. I have to look at the list now to find out what I missed. Yeah, North American Shelter Mix, who had an ancestor that was an Australian sheepdog. Moose DNA results. Oh, okay, yeah. So he is here. He is. I don't want to show that sidebar. Although I suppose those photos are all fine. It's just Moose and me. He is Malamute Husky Samoyed, which are like the big fluffy white ones. He is also German Shepherd, Cattle Dog, 2% Border Collie, tiny little bit of Maremma Sheepdog and regular Collie, and then Pitbull, Rottweiler, Staffy, Boxer. So those would add up to somewhere in like the under a quarter there, 5% Lab and 1% Keeshond. And then this is a photo I took of him recently. That's my Mr. Moose. That's my Moo Moo. He's the best. He's a really sweet boy. I introduced him to the stream last week. There's a clip of it that I posted to YouTube there. I'm gonna eat a fresh food buff. Hubby likes waking me up with a cup of coffee every day. Every morning, chilling in bed with coffee to wake up. That's really sweet. He isn't getting the pedigree for being a purebred. I think he would, yeah, I think perhaps not. But like, he's perfect, and because he's a mix of so many different things, I'll never, ever, ever again in my life have another dog that's like the same genetic makeup of that. And I know even if you have like a purebred dog, just because you had like an amazing border collie doesn't mean any future border collies you get are going to be like as good, right? Like obviously it's individual to the dog and not necessarily the breed, but I feel extra, I don't know, mushy about the fact that he's perfect and he's one of a kind, because he really is kind of one of a kind. Even those same genes expressed in a different dog could turn out looking totally different. He's got big floppy ears, and I don't even know if they're going to stand up when he's fully grown, because who's to say? I betcha he had some sled dog ancestors too. Sled dog mixed ancestors. Fairy tale mixed breed. Cute ass doggy. He's a sweet pumpkin muffin spice latte sugar mushroom. I call him lots of things. He puts up with me. My cat is named Una because she's one of a kind. Had our favorite Shiba come into work yesterday for a nail trim. He screamed the entire time because Shiba. First time I see Moose, he is beautiful. People that see him, he definitely looks like a German Shepherd. People think he's a pure German Shepherd puppy, and I will, if they ask me what sort of dog he is, I'll just say he's like a German Shepherd mix. Because I think I might frighten people if I start rattling off the rap. He is dapper. He is a handsome boy. Let me see if I can find another photo of him where he's I have one of him where he's like sort of sitting up, and he's seen from straight on. So wait. I don't want to show the carousel. I just want to show the photo. Show is full screen. Yeah, okay. Wait. That's not right. That's not right at all. There we go. That's a photo of Mr. Moo seen from more of like a direct head on when he's kind of like hi. His big ears fold over. They can stand up. Also, am I playing hardcore? Where am I? What am I doing? I'm looking at my dog. This is how you guys get me killed. Not that it's your fault, but should be. I heard the cheer sound because somebody hit level 60, and I was like, hang on a second, I was doing something. Happy baby. He's so handsome. He's my Mr. Moosey Moo. Seeing this, I now think his ears will remain floppy. They might. He looks like a bat when he perks them up. He perks them up if he's really paying attention to things, but usually he'll perk up one of them, and the tip of it will still flop over a little bit, and the other one will just stay down. He likes to also fold them back, and that's really cute too. Please show more pictures of your dog. Don't worry. Look at the fluffy puppy. Enjoy his fluffy puppy fur. He's got such big white teeth. He's got such big brand new chompers. If I didn't know it was involved, I would have thought it was a Malinois. Shepexes stayed floppy. I love them. I was looking on the Humane Society. They get a lot of ex-sled dogs, and those are typically like husky mixes. And my favorite one also has like an adult dog, but has those same floppy ears, and made me think that maybe they won't always perk up. The ear evolution of shepherd puppies. No longer WoW stream. This is Moose stream. Belgian shepherds. You guys are gonna make me miss my puppy. I'm gonna have to go snuggle him. Today, what am I doing outside of stream? I'm gonna post the stream VOD. I'm going to clean because it's Saturday. I'm on a twice a week cleaning the house rotation right now because I think that's gonna be my life. With the dog, he sheds a lot. And so I want to vacuum again. Or I guess I could clean I can clean the bathroom, and I could show my partner how to use the vacuum. I've been hogging it because I bought it and it's new. You guys made me want to make something. I bet I could make a curry. Do I want to commit to that? I should. It's a good idea. I need leftovers. My fridge is empty. My freezer has like a frozen pizza, and that's about it. I have leftover pizza for lunch though. You should. Zucchini bread. Got all my cleaning done this morning. Feels great to have it out of the way. Do you put on music while you're cleaning? And if so, is there a preferred soundtrack? I just listen to whatever my favorites mix is, which is usually K-pop from 2018. But I love cleaning with the headphones in. I'm glad the new vacuum's a bit quieter so that I can hear my music even while I'm vacuuming. Love a red lentil vegan curry, so good. You make like a big thing of rice and oh, yum 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 yum. Really want a cat? Motivation for cleaning is looking around going, I could never have a cat, this place is a mess, and then cut to me deep cleaning. Streamer podcast this morning. It was Preach's stream. Oh, nice. Trance electronic music. Does Moose attack vacuum? Moose just kind of like sullenly relocates from room to room to... He'll occasionally look at it, and then he tried barking at it and then decided that didn't avail him of anything. And now he'll just kind of like awkwardly... He's basically like me when I was a kid and my mom was vacuuming, which is where I'm just like pretending it's not happening until it gets too close, and then I'm like sort of shuffling to a different room. Being like, am I supposed to be helping? I'm gonna go over here. Glad to hear he did not try to consume the vacuum. He has not yet tried to consume the vacuum. That is true. He ate a bunch of fluff out of the inside of a dog toy that he tore open at my sister's place. He passes everything he eats, so far. Not that it's a contest. Probably just doesn't enjoy the sound of it. Yeah. I think everything's new to him too, because he's babies, so he's kind of like, what is that? What's it doing? Why is it making noise? Wait, where'd my hair go? I was gonna eat that. Cats are curious about the vacuum. Miss Kira loathes it. She will go hide. Not like in a very scared way, but in a very exasperated way. She'll hear the vacuum. I'll usually give her what I like to call a warning shot with a vacuum, where I'll turn it on and then off again very shortly just to let her know that vacuuming is beginning. Although typically she knows by the time I've like rolled the thing. She hears the wheels and she's like, nope, time to go. And she'll go hide either under my desk or under the bed, and then I'll clean the other room. I try to opportunistically vacuum whenever she's not in a room already, so I'm not chasing her out of it because she's blind, so if she's running into things. Sister has a dog too. Are they friends? My sister had a dog. And they still have some of her things. She was a very, very sweet girl. It's a bit bittersweet when we visit her with Mr. Moose, because he has a lot of things in common with their dog, who through a very weird, very strange coincidence actually had to be put down on the same day that we brought Moose home. It was odd and very, very sad. But she lived a good life. She was a really happy doggy. She was very sweet. She had a great life with them. It was just time. Uno likes to steal the hairbands to play. My sister and her husband are talking about eventually, at some point when their child is a bit older, maybe looking into a cat or a kitten. And I'm very in favor of this and looking forward to it because I want to shop for a kitten. Don't get me wrong, I can shop for my cat, but she's a tough sell. She's picky with treats. She doesn't really play with toys anymore. And if she is going to play with a toy, all she wants is a crumpled piece of paper. So there's, beyond just buying like litter and food for her, there's not a whole lot of shopping to be done. But I love all the little cat toys, and I'm sure that my sister would have tons of them, but Preach lost his dog of 13 years yesterday. Oh, Candid talking about it this morning on stream. Pets are so special. It's the one thing that dogs do wrong is that they don't live long enough. It was a quote from the show I was watching, but it's true. Special dog pops a ball out of her mouth, scrambles around like a psycho to get it over and over until she's exhausted. It's really disruptive because she crashes into everything. I don't remember precisely how old she was, but I know it was north of 11 or 12. It was somewhere past that. Big happy dog. Also used to carry gigantic sticks around on trails and then like take passersby out at the ankles. Which I think Moose is well on track to start doing. I love your hair. Why, thank you. Sometimes the best thing in life is a really big stick. Mr. Moose loves to carry around sticks. And he likes the big ones, but he's yet to figure out exactly how to pick them up. And he'll stop and he'll be quite nonplussed and he'll be a bit confused because he'll be trying to like grab a stick and then carry it with him, but it'll be like a branch that is dragging on the ground. And he's like, why won't this thing go? And he's usually grabbed it from like the very end of it. And then he'll like go pull off some leaves in a part of it and be like, did that help? No. And then sometimes I'll break it into pieces for him and I'll give him a more manageable piece. But it's really funny to watch him like try to drag like a huge branch down the street by the very tippy tip of it. He hasn't figured out how to grab sticks from the middle yet, unless they're quite small. I'm sure he'll get there though. He's smart. Thinking about getting back into WoW, have missed at least 2 retail patches. Advice on getting caught up. There is an event that they have just added in called Dream Surges that is going to be your easiest way to kind of grind some level appropriate gear. But we're also looking forward to 10.2. We don't have a date for it yet, but it's been on PTR for a while. It's going to be coming. And that's going to be a whole new raid tier dungeon season, plus like new catch-up gear and a big item level bump. So there's nothing wrong with just kind of wearing the gear that you have now and then waiting to get your stuff caught up in the next season whenever that does start. We don't know when that is yet, but if you did want to get some fresh gear, I would say grind Dream Surges. You can buy gear off the vendor and you're also going to get a champion piece every week. And there's a bajillion other things you can do, but that's like the easy, straightforward, easy to explain thing to do. Send Moose to physics class so he can learn about center of gravity and balance. He's learned about gravity, where if he flings something into the air, it might release food when it falls down. If it's like a puzzle toy or a puzzle treat. He has a couple of different ones that you would put treats in them, and he's got to shake them out. And I stopped giving them to him for a bit because they were pretty heavy, like rubber things, right? And I would put some treats in, like little pieces of cookie or whatever. And here, I'll let you have that spot. And he for a while was like kind of, you know, pawing and manipulating it and working on getting the treat out. And then eventually he was just like, you know, frick this. And he just grabs the thing, flings it into the air. And then as it like crashes to the ground, half the time the food comes out. So that's like his strategy. And it's incredibly loud. And also kind of dangerous. He sometimes will have to duck out of the way of the thing that he has launched and be like, who threw that? And it's hilarious. But I mean, well, he's more durable now. I don't think it would hurt him too bad. I was very worried about my poor baby getting hurt when he was a little baby. And I've come to realize that he is more durable than I was giving him credit for. Still definitely something to be very careful of. But like, if he gets like rolled at the dog park, he's just going to get back up again. He's totally fine. He's bouncy. Thinking about leveling a new undead S-Priest. That's interesting too. Big leveling event going on right now with time walking. Yeah. Sounds like he has short patience. Oh. Patience is hard when you're a baby. He's working on it. I'm working on teaching him to stay. And it's going okay, but we're working it up from a pretty short length of time. I tried to teach him shake a paw, or how to shake a paw, and he is kind of getting it, but because he's gotten a bit of the wrong idea where when he lifts the paw to shake, he will also fall forward into a laying down, which isn't really the trick. But I was giving him the treat for it anyways because he had lifted the paw up first, which is what I was looking for. And then by the time I gave him the treat, he'd already fallen down. I was like, wait, no, that's not what I'm trying to teach you. So now he does a shake a paw and then collapse. And I need to continue shaping that to be stay seated and shake your paw without falling over, you goofball. But it's, you know, he doesn't speak English, so I have to explain it to him with the clicker and everything. Hand signal commands. Yeah, I find they're a lot easier for dogs to, I've found, and this was the case with my last dog, that they're very tuned into body language and hand signals are a lot easier for them than words. So I do both. I do the word and the hand signal, but if I was going to give him just one or the other, the hand is going to work better. And I don't really see a huge reason to make it just the word or just the hand or anything like that. I mean, the hand's nice because you can see it from farther if it's loud or there's sound interference or whatever, but I do both. And it's been good. Email Blizzard and tell them to add long neck mount as a Twitch drop. Please, thank you. It occurred to me when I was teaching him to stay that I needed to come up with a new hand signal because I was using the same one that I used for sit, and I was like, hang on a second, I've already used that one. I need a new one. He knows sit and lay down. He knows stand, where I kind of summon him like a conductor summoning an orchestra. It's great. Spin. Shake. Although shake, I'm starting out like this because the hand will have a trait which makes him paw it, and then it becomes this, and then he puts the paw in my hand. How are we doing? We need 3 more motes of Mizrael, but there's a bit more competition here now, so I could probably leave it be and move on. Although if I finish the quest, I betcha if I finished it, that would level me. I'm so close. At the current pace that I'm going, would need another 11 minutes of grinding to level, which is just about the time it would take for the stream. Tone to the words might be better than waving. Can't always hear you, won't always look at you. He can't always hear you. Well, he can't always hear me sometimes. Sometimes it's the park and I'm farther. Sometimes there's sound interference from other things that are going on. I think that both is good. But I'm also not training him to be like a show dog or a... I'm just trying to teach him things to keep him busy and to give him some good manners for getting along in human society. So he's not going to like fail out of service dog school or anything because he's unemployed. DPS focused or surviving? Very much surviving. I am spec'd heavily into demonology, completely into demonology in fact. So I have... basically all my points are making my Voidwalker better and making my own health and stamina and survivability better. I guess 3 more motes of Mizrael is kind of a big ask if there's a lot of competition for these mobs, because it's not 100% drop rate, so I would need more than just like 3 more kobolds. But on the topic of the talents and the DPS versus survivability thing, a lot of my damage... I guess I don't know exactly how much because I'm not running a damage meter, but I have invested pretty heavily into keeping my wand up to date. I buy big expensive... I save up all my gold and I buy big expensive wands. So I'm currently using Jaina's Firestarter, and a lot of my DPS is going to come from wanding, which is independent of any talents. So I feel like I'm keeping my damage up in that way instead. Oh, there's kobolds over here. This is good. This is good. Will you change spec once you're 60 to do raids? I don't have any plans to raid at 60. If I get to 60, I'm going to retire and call it good. I think that would be my only goal. I'm not really doing any group content. And if I get leveled, then that will be good for me. 2 silver from that one. What about that one? I have not done any dungeons, and I don't have any plans to. I think people have fun with them, but it didn't really appeal to me. I'm hesitant to send Helgrave in and have him start building up threat because it's a slow pull and you don't get a tag really early that way. And whenever you're competing for mobs, it feels like the tags are more important. Trusting other people. Yeah, it's just kind of comfier to grind or quest on my own, I think. Have you died at all yet? My first Warlock died tragically at level 15 to a overpull of trogs in Loch Medan in the Stone Splinter Valley. And then I lost a couple of off-stream, very low-level warriors just having too much fun one night. But my that's about it. Right. Glad they changed retail so that pets actually tag for you. I don't think I knew that he didn't tag for me. I just kind of assumed that because I send him in manually, so you know, all this time that he's wandering his blue cloud over there is time that I'm not tagging it. I didn't even think that his damage wouldn't do it. I spy heating pad? Yeah. Helps. I thought it would help keep my hands warm, but it turns out I don't really put my hands on it very much. But nice for cramps and also just for staying warm in the office. Hope you feel better. Thanks. Sometimes I use it just when I'm cold. Sometimes I'm just chilly. Hi. Hi. I used to use hot water bottles, and those are good too, and they're nice for taking to bed. But I love having the electric one for the desk because you can just kind of turn it on anytime that you need to. Although I run over the cable with my chair. I have killed many heating pads. Do I run over the cable? Yeah, I do. Back when I had a microwave, I used to get those microwavable bags of beans that were shaped like a stuffed animal and then had like some lavender in it to smell nice. Those were primo. I just need one more mote of Misrael. Many months and years. I feel ya. I'm lucky in that my life's really chill, so if I'm not feeling well, I can pretty much just take my warm thing and a nice cup of tea and an ibuprofen, moosey, and I can curl up on the couch and play some Animal Crossing. Tried the instant ones, had 3rd-degree burns. Oh no! Microwavable buckwheat bag does wonders. Homemade rice bags. My mom used to make those when I was a kid. Those used to be the go-to thing. Demonstration crustacean. Oh, I had like a sheep one. I forget what they called them, but there was some brand name or another. It was good. Oh yeah. All right, we got 12 motes. Here, I'll kill this one for good measure, but we can go turn this in. Still have the rice bag that I used as a kid, and I want to warm it up. They're nice to cuddle with. They're even just for coziness sake. I can hear my friend having some zoomies. I can hear him raging against the machine and taking it out on his squeaky toy. As he gets bigger, his oh, for heaven's sake. No, thank you. They want me to turn those shards inside the cave. I might do that. I might. But not today. Not right now. That's just mean. I'm going to go back and get away from Hammerfall and find some raptors or something. I have a raccoon, one of those microwavable stuffed animals. Used to have to fight the cats over the warm rice bags. Kitty doesn't really... I thought she would be very attracted to the heating pad. And she has sat near it, but what she really wants is me when I've been preheated by the heating pad. She doesn't want to sit on like the laptop or the heating pad by itself. She wants me, but like the warmer version that's been heated by these other devices. Just go inside the cave. What's the worst that could happen? Nothing at all. Trash pandas, as I call them. What do we call them? Trash bandits? Trash bandits, because their little masks look like little Zorro masks. They like to do in packs at dusk in the summertime. The preheated hazel lap. It's a rare and exclusive luxury for kitty kit. We have 1 bar left, and I'm determined to get this before I wrap up for today. It's about stream end time. I am hungry. You playing hardcore? Classic? Super happy to see. Yeah, it's a heating pad. I guess I can scoot it down a little bit. Yeah, I'm playing hardcore classic. I am level 37, and I'm nearly level 38 on my Warlock. This is my highest level character, both in hardcore classic and also just in classic ever. I've never, ever, ever leveled this far in any version of classic ever in my life. What brand? I need that? Sunbeam. Sunbeam. This one has like some sand in it to provide some weight to it. It is wired. It is a wired plugged in heating pad. It's not rechargeable. I got it at Canadian Tire, but I think that they all more or less get to the same place. Further character deaths. I was messing around with a couple of low-level warriors one night off stream, and I lost 2 of them before level 10. But no other major high-level character deaths, just the 2 warriors. Fleep was the first warrior. She died at level 5 to a Gricknir respawn in the cave. And then Flibby was my flabby knockoff. My level 6 warrior died to a snow leopard that was level 8 that I thought she could take, and it turned out I could not. My 3rd warrior is named Bopsy. She's a gnome warrior, and she is alive and well. She's fine. She's level 10. I haven't played her in a few days. She's probably got some rested. I'm quite pleased with getting a level in one stream. I kind of thought, I mean, I guess I need the rested for it, but if I have rested, it seems that I can still fit a level into like a 3-hour grind sesh. I say sesh like I say that all the time. Oh, you know, it's just a quick grind sesh. I want higher level mobs. I want to be over here, but I don't want to run right through this thing. I guess we can curve down around to the south here. Not right through the village. Definitely not through the... That's a farm, right? Or is it a horde base? No, the horde base is up north. Anyways, we're not going there. People die there. How do you tell your dog how much you love your dog? I mean, I try lots of things, but I just want him to know, you know? My strategy is a mix of taking the best care of him that I know how to, with lots of exercise and, you know, like clean water and meals on time, etc., etc. And then also lots of hugs and scritches and snuggles and smooches and treats and, you know, quality time. This is the most retail-looking classic I've ever seen. Did you change the color palette or something? I made my UI resemble my my retail UI. That might be it. I've used Bartender to move my bars around to be the same format that I use in retail. And the same thing, I moved my unit frames in the same way. So the interface isn't really all that different. That's got to be it. I think the colors are just regular Arathi Highlands. Kiss her in the head. That's a good one. Mod telling you where people die? Built in. It is a mod. It's called Deathlog. It also has lots of great stats about where people die and to what and at what level, and you can, and like heat maps and stuff, so you can see, you can kind of feel out via graphs and charts and statistics what might be dangerous for you. Sunbathing in her window seat right now. Aww. That's a lot of trolls. Parents' Great Pyrenees is not a cuddly dog, isn't a food-motivated dog. She just wants you to sit out on their back deck with her all day. Aww. Kiss him on the nose. It's a bit silly, but I figured, you know, dogs will sometimes nose boop each other. And I thought, I have a nose. So I'll very gently touch Moose's nose with my nose. And if he's calm enough, I won't get licked in the mouth, because that's not really what I'm going for. I love him, and I'm a smooching my dog kind of person, but I'm not a smooching him on the mouth kind of person. Just not for me. But I don't know what he thinks of the nose booping. He just looks a bit confused, to be honest. Want a screened-in porch for the cats. A catio, so to speak. I think he knows. His hugs are so sweet. He's such a cute buddy. Or like I'll sit down in his bed with him and we'll together watch my partner like cook. And Moose will like stretch out and put a paw on my hand and we'll just like hang out. It's good. There's Tin over there. That's not going to get me any experience though. How common is it for cats to be outdoor and indoor over there? I don't have any data. I would say sometimes. There are lots of cats that are outdoors. I'm sure almost all of them also come indoors. I think that purely outdoor cats is more of like a rural thing, like barn cats, or like neighborhood cats that don't belong to anybody. most cats that are owned by people would come inside for some things, I would assume. I guess I don't know for sure. But it's also much more common to have purely indoor cats. And here in North America, there are more, I guess, points in favor of that in terms of protecting local bird species. Cats can be very destructive to local bird populations. It's also a bit dangerous. Cats go missing pretty frequently. It's really not unusual to see missing cat posters through, it's just danger, like wildlife, cars, potentially theft if it's like a valuable cat. It's tough to say. So there are some valid reasons to have an indoor-only cat. Hazel, indoor-only cat. Who is the partner? Partner is my romantic partner. I am very cagey and don't offer a lot of details. Privacy, etc. They'd love it. Our Siamese baby is inside outside. Then you can comment on your partner's cooking together. But a lot of shelters, when adopting cats out, will also require you to commit to having that cat be indoors only because it's safer for the cat. Comes in for a little bit until she's ready. Mine is scared of everything, runs away. Here, the indoor-outdoor thing is most common, even those living in apartments. Yeah, I think it's very individual to different people. I meet lots of outdoor cats when I walk around different neighborhoods, and some of them are actually quite dog friendly or not afraid of the puppy at all. They'll still come up to say hi to me even if I have moose. Better to keep relationships private, I've learned after one divorce. Yeah, I think sharing is good, but I also think that specifically romantic relationships are something that is, at least for me, that I'd prefer to be quite private about. Moth Who Wears Slippers, thank you very much for the brand new sub. Appreciate it very much. What a wonderful name. Yeah, personal decision as to how much you want to share. It's also my content, I really like it being my thing and about me, and I find that lets me feel like I have more control over it. What was the rest of that thought? There was more to that thought that didn't make me sound quite so selfish. Although, it's a perfectly fine thing to be selfish about, I think. Yeah, it's nice having it be very, very much... It's a very personal thing, and it's a sharing thing, but it's also a work thing. This is what I do for a living. This is how I make income, and pay rent and pay taxes and whatnot. So it's... And I know in some places and some cultures and some jobs, it's very normal to mix like your relationship and your work life and to like bring partners to work events and stuff. But I like having that degree of separation of like, this thing is for me and it's for my, it is part of my complex personal life. And then this thing is part of my content and my persona and my brand and whatnot. And I don't keep a huge delineation between myself and my persona. I'm not that great at acting. I think you definitely edit and you select the more positive sides of yourself to share publicly because you're aware that people are going to be seeing it and whatnot. But yeah, it's nice to have that. Nice to have some work-life separation, especially when it's like public. Where am I? I guess I'm just killing things to try to get this rest of this bar, aren't I? Oh, I think we must be really close. It thinks I'm going to level in 42 seconds, which I feel like means either 1 or 2 more mobs. Kex, thank you very much for the 9-month resub. Yay, Hazel, love the streams. Thank you very, very much. I think it's perfectly fine for different people and different content creators to have a different way they take on their content. Some people will be more regimented about it. Some people will be very casual and very loose, and I think those offer different like appeals. Nothing right or wrong, just all different. For me, because I think of it as more of a job and I treat it a bit as more of a job, I do things like, you know, not bringing on my friends too much or much at all. Another one is I don't drink on stream anymore. I have done so once or twice years and years ago, but I wouldn't drink at work, so I don't drink on stream. And there's nothing wrong with drinking on stream. It's just not really my take on it, I think. But again, very personal. One thing to bring partner to office Christmas party, another thing to have it known to wacky world of internet. And it's not that I would never introduce. I think at some point I probably will. I'm just not in a big hurry. I can smell food. Oh, I leveled. Good job, me. We did it. We're level 38. I am 2 levels away from my mount. Although I wouldn't expect it to be anytime soon because I'm probably going to wait for more rested because that level was much nicer because I had rested. Woohoo! Work from home for customer service. I've taken a shot or 2. I would never in a million years judge you for that. Congrats on level. Rested is best. Oh, man. This was excellent. That was actually surprisingly painless. I had a really great stream. I'm going to hearth myself back to Ironforge. I will, I mean, I might be grinding here for another couple of levels, but I'm so sure she has some stuff to sell first. I do still play retail. I streamed it the last 3 streams. I am going to be back tomorrow morning for another stream. I don't know what I'll stream yet, but we'll sort it out in the morning. Thank you very much for joining me. I put out a news video this morning. There is a fresh one on my YouTube channel, so please check that out if you like news videos. It is up. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Oh, owie. Bye.